I see a few people in here. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. I'm just going to give it a few minutes before I start, give others a chance to get in here, and then I will turn my camera around so you can actually read my shredding silence thing. Turn my TV down so we don't have interruptions, echoing. How's everybody doing today? What's going on? What's a new thing, a new light bulb moment? How's your healing journey going? Anything you want to share before we get started? Tell me what's going on. Hi, welcome in the room. Now we're starting to come in. Hi, I'm glad you're here. Welcome in, you guys. Gonna get started in a couple minutes. Hi, Deanna. How are you doing, my friend? What's going on? It's my best part of the week right here. I've said it, I think I say it every live. Like, life has been so brutal, you know, 'cause a couple more minutes maybe. How about you, Katie? How are you doing? I'm hanging in there, Deanna. That's all I can do. I just take it one step at a time, you know, and I don't know if you saw the video where I posted the ice cream. I think it's like Japanese ice cream or something. It's in the shape of a fruit, and they're really pretty. They came 3 in a pack. I ate all 3 of them. And it's just like noticing and appreciating little moments like that can't be destroyed by a narcissist, because that ice cream was so good. It was really good. And it wasn't that expensive, because Katie told me that it can be pretty expensive. So I don't know if this was like the generic off-brand. I got it at Albertsons. I don't know if you have an Albertsons out there, but okay, we got people coming in. So welcome in, everybody. My name's Glennis, creator of Shredding Silence, and today we're going to be talking about shame after narcissistic abuse, because first of all, I want to apologize. I want to apologize because someone in this community, I can't remember if it was Hava Java or Kelly. So I don't know if Deanna, if you remember last week that she came on live to share her story, and she started talking about shame. And then the minute she came on, I froze, and then I lost the entire live, and then I had an emergency with my daughter. So if you're on here, I don't think Hava Java. Okay, so I wanted to apologize to Hava Java. I don't think she's on here yet. If she is, come on here and speak up after narcissistic abuse. And I never got to hear the rest of her story. So I sincerely apologize. And if you're here today, Hava Java, I'd love for you to come back, because your story deserves to be heard. Anybody's story here deserves to be heard. So ironically, what happened last week got me thinking about today's topic, which is shame after narcissistic abuse. Yes, I love that lady. I love all you guys in here. Every single one of you means so much to me. So thank you for choosing to spend your time here today with me. I sincerely, it means a lot. And it helps us to feel not alone. So it got me thinking about today's topic, which is shame, because that's what, there she is. You just missed it, Hava Java. So I think they were telling me you were the one that came on the live last week and were to talk. And I immediately YouTube, but I froze. I couldn't answer you. I didn't get to hear the rest of your story, because then I completely lost the entire live, and then I had an emergency with my daughter. So I really want to hear what you have to say still. So if you want to come on later when I open it up, I really love that, because you deserve to be heard. Everybody deserves to be heard. I know it's hard to speak up after narcissistic abuse, but this is a safe place to do it. So if you want to, that link is in, where I always leave it on the post tab. In the community, it's either the post tab or the community. It should be pinned to the top, and I do have the link in there, so if you want to come on later. So today the topic is about shame, because I remember you had a question about that. So when I say today's tips, I was very excited. Thank you. Yes, and it was in it. You gave me the topic idea. So thank you, Hava Java. So when you guys hear the word shame, what's the very first thing that pops into your head? Don't overthink this. Just type the very first thing in the comments that comes to your mind. I'm going to be silent for a minute and give you guys a chance to think about that. Don't think too hard. Like I said, this is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word shame. Humiliation, Deanna says. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that word, humiliation. Java says whole body shut down. Humiliation about what, Deanna? Childhood, Katie says. Makes you feel less than. Childhood. Yes, childhood. What about if someone, I feel stupid. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Stupid. So I want to ask you guys something. So we've got childhood, embarrassing, makes you feel less than. So did someone actually call the thing that they did to make you feel embarrassed, that thing in your childhood, and contagious? Yeah, someone said you were contagious, like in a bad way, right? A negative way. So did someone actually call you stupid, for example, or you eventually started calling yourself stupid? Or this one, like, have you ever said this to yourself? I should have known better. Especially like after narcissistic abuse, where people say, well, why did you stay so long? That's the famous line, right? Why did you stay so long? Or you should have known better when you first saw the red flags. How many people have said that to themselves? Yeah, the song Teen Spirit. I like that one too. I'm sure a lot of us have felt that way, that we should have known better. Why did you stay so long? But let me ask you something. Deanna says yes, all that stuff. Let me ask you guys something. Who taught you that surviving manipulation means that you should have seen it coming? How could we have seen that coming? Manipulation is exactly what it is. Manipulation. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Exactly, Deanna. Or if you say you stayed too long, or if someone shames you for saying you stayed too long, okay though. But if your best friend stayed too long, would you call them weak? Katie says yes. My mother was always speaking negative to me. Yeah, it wasn't your voice. That was somebody else speaking to us. So we focus on the shame rather than the person that's causing the shame. And then we have compassion for everybody else but ourselves. Because people will say, I ignored the red flags. Maybe you were looking at different things. Or if somebody says you miss them, we can normalize something. Missing someone doesn't always mean they were good for you. It means you formed an attachment. And what Katie says here, those ideas became so ingrained in your mind. That's why every live I tell you, it's so important to like spend time alone with yourself, with no distractions, no movies, no phone. Put it down, turn it off, something. Because when you sit alone with your thoughts and there's no distractions, you can actually hear them. And all the noise goes away. You tone it down to where you can actually hear what you think, what you feel, and filter those shameful thoughts and things that you call yourself, and ask, who's calling me this? Whose voice is this? Is this my voice, and is it true? Deanna says, my counselor called them negative tapes that play in your mind. Yeah, and how many of you here are still hearing, even though you may not be with the narcissist, you're still hearing the things that the narcissist said about you, whether they said them or not. You know, their actions can speak, you're not worthy, you're not enough, or you're stupid. They don't have to even say it. Their actions make us feel that way. So how many, I know I'm still trying to get rid of those tapes in my mind, like Deanna was talking about, and Katie was talking about, that our parents put into our minds, that aren't our thoughts, that aren't judgments about ourselves. I talk back to those thoughts. That's good, Deanna. What kind of things do you say when those thoughts pop up? Do you recognize them right away, or does it take you a minute? Like you have to really think about it, or is it becoming more automatic? I think I got. I'm going to give you a little minute to answer that while I get my notes cleared up here. I got lost. I think my arrow went down too far. Okay, I want to come back to the embarrassed, because I think someone said embarrassed in here. So what exactly what you were embarrassed about? Being yourself? Just existing? It's easier now after being in therapy for so long. There's pattern recognition. Yeah, and you become quicker. Are you finding yourself becoming faster at the recognition? Hava Java says, I'm actively questioning my entire shame narrative that goes back to childhood. That's good. So you're digging in the dirt, Hava Java. And what things have you found so far? If you'd like to share it. Because I want to go back to the embarrassed part. Deanna says, yes, sexual abuse can make a person ashamed to exist. Yes. Thing is, we feel ashamed about ourselves for something else did. It's how you feel about yourself, rather than what that person did to you. Our focus is, well, something's wrong with me. I did something wrong to deserve that, but it's not true. Katie says, the childhood negativities still ring louder in my mind, which led to my negative relationships. And I like how you put the relationships, because that's where I think I got it originally, was from you. Yeah, it bleeds over into everything, all of our relationships, because that's what they are when we allow those negative things to take over. So if someone says, I feel stupid, I want to ask you something about that. Did someone actually call you stupid, or did you eventually start calling yourself stupid? Hava says, I was the family scapegoat with a corporate perfectionist family. I got mentally ill from the stress of the abuse and then was scapegoated. That's a lot of heavy crap to go through, Hava Java. And of course, that would make anybody mentally ill. That's a lot to deal with. That's a lot for your nervous system. Passing out hugs. You're passing out hugs, Deanna. Thank you. I think we could all use hugs here. Okay, so let me get here. As yes, useless as teats on a bowl. You're so funny. So when I asked earlier, I said, let me ask you guys something. Who taught you that surviving manipulation and abuse means you should have seen it coming? None of us could have seen that coming. Or if we stayed too long, you know, we don't tell our best friends, yes, group hugs, huddle. We wouldn't call our best friend weak. But we find sometimes, I don't know if you guys struggle with this, that our compassion's available to everybody else but ourselves. And we have to turn that around and give that to ourselves. We give ourselves a hug too, even for ignoring the red flags. Because we were all looking for the green flags because we wanted it to work. We wanted it to give the benefit of the doubt, because that's how we are. Like we're just very caring, loving people. And here's another one. If someone says they miss you, you miss that person, even though they hurt you. Missing someone doesn't mean that they were good for you. It means that you formed this attachment thing. It became easier to into my child. I think that says fit into my childhood dynamic. Crap. Let me get to my questions because I have some questions, more questions for you guys. Here's another thing a lot of us are feeling shame for after narcissistic abuse. If someone says, like a victim, a survivor gets out and they say, I still love them, but love doesn't disappear the same day trust does. That's one of the hardest parts of healing. And, and then realizing that they weren't real, nothing about it was real, but somehow we still feel shame that we love or have feelings for this person. And it's nothing to be ashamed of because they're the ones that destroyed the trust. They deceived us. And I think it's a beautiful thing that we can love someone that treat us so horribly, but now we have the boundaries to not let that happen again because we deserve that same kind of love. So it's hard because the love doesn't disappear the same day the trust does. And then other people will say, I've heard them say, I hate myself. But who benefits if you hate yourself? Because I promise you, it isn't you. And sometimes I notice when people say they're shamed that it's nothing that they did. It's what they tell me who they think they are, and that is definitely shame screaming. Because shame doesn't usually say I made a mistake. Shame says I am the mistake. Because when you're a child, your parents you don't look to them as they're doing something wrong. You look to them as when they're treating you the way that they did, you think, what is wrong with me? What did I do to make mom and dad treat me or say this to me? We don't realize that it's their freaking problem. We think I am the mistake. And that's where I want to start today. The shame versus the guilt. And I want to ask you guys another question. What is the difference between shame and guilt? Let me know in the comments, you guys. Shame and guilt. What's the difference? Because most people use those words interchangeably, but they're actually very different. Shame and guilt. Uh-oh, I gotta let my cat in real quick, you guys. I hear her meowing at the door. It's very hot outside. Come on, get in, baby. Yeah, it's hot out there, I know. Why'd you go out there? Okay, so most people use the word shame and guilt interchangeably. I know I did, but they're really different. So here's the answer. Guilt says, I did something wrong. And shame says, I am something wrong. Big difference there. So guilt is about behavior, and shame is about identity. Guilt is from an action, shame is a feeling. Yeah, guilt about behavior. Shame, behavior and action. Shame is about identity, about feeling, identity. Guilt is something that can be seen too. It's over an action. Shame is an identity. Right, Hava Java. Which one do you think narcissistic abuse creates more of? Guilt or shame? I should turn this around and read the comments up here. You guys can't, my shredding silence is backwards, but you guys all know what it says. Shame. Yes, exactly. Katie says shame. Shame, Havajava says, because narcissistic abuse isn't just about convincing you that you made mistakes. It's about convincing you that you are the mistake. That's how they get us to feel, that we are the mistake. How many of you ever thought any of these? I'm too sensitive. I'm needy. I'm too needy. I'm too emotional. I'm too difficult. I'm too much. I'm not enough. Just type yes if you guys ever believed any one of those, even one of them. I know I've always felt like I was too much. Yes to all, Deanna says. Yeah, I think all of them too. Katie says yes. Have a job of yes. I want you guys notice something, that these aren't descriptions of behavior. These are descriptions, like Hava Java said earlier, of identity, which is shame. And I remember asking myself questions like this. You got me. Yeah. What's wrong with me? Why can't I and onto your identity? Here's another question, you guys. When was the first time you remember feeling shame? Not necessarily with the narcissist you were with, but the very first time in your life. Can you guys go back? I'm trying to go back, but I think suppress a lot of childhood memories. I probably don't remember them on purpose for a good reason. I don't know if any of you guys deal with that. Like, there's big blanks in all of my childhood. Katie says, why can't I ever get anything right? Yeah. Do you remember how old you were the very first time you thought that? You were 3, have a job. Wow. That's young. That's young to remember. So sad, so impressionable, innocent child. Um, where am I in my notes again? Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember the age at all. Deanna says, I don't recall and I probably don't want to. I'm right there with you, Deanna. I don't want to either. Katie, the same thing as have a job at 3 and 4 years old. Yeah. And do you guys remember what you felt shame about at that age, at old? That was giving you your identity at such a tender age. If you guys are comfortable sharing, I'd love to know, because many of us, the narcissistic relationship didn't create shame. It found shame that was already there from when you were 3, from when you were 4, whatever age you and I were, Deanna. My inner child's protecting you. Of course it is. I think both of ours are. Yeah, that it's not allowing us to remember for a reason. It's protecting us. Exactly. So, like I said before, many of us, the narcissistic relationship didn't create the shame. It was already there. But the narcissist found the shame that was already there, and it just magnified it. So this is a really important distinction. Think about that. If somebody already believes, I have to earn love, I have to keep the peace, I have to prove my worth, a narcissist doesn't have to teach us to those beliefs. They were already there when the narcissist came along. Havajava said, I recall, and when I think of it, I am shocked that a little child was already that scared and shamed. Like, that did not come out of nowhere. Exactly. And I want to give you a big hug. My heart goes out to all of us, all of our little children that are with us still, that we're nurturing. Because it's not just us in here, it's our little selves. All our little mini-me's are in here, and I want to give them all a big hug. Because we didn't deserve that. And that yeah, and you're so young, 3 years old. It's heartbreaking. So the narcissist just magnified all the stuff that was there already. They only had to reinforce what was there already. So they didn't bring that to the relationship initially. It was already there. And here's the question I want everyone to think about. That voice in your head, I said this before, is it actually your voice or the echo of somebody else's opinion of you? Because that's where our healing begins. Wow, what self-reflection, because little children under age 6 or 7 don't usually feel shame, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of self-awareness to go back to that age. That's why I can't even pinpoint an age when I first felt the shame at all. And I just don't want to remember, I don't think. It's too painful. So yeah, those voices in your head, they were most likely your caregivers, your parents, So when we first start to recognize that that's not actually our voice, that's where healing begins. I think children can feel it at a very young age. Yeah, they feel more than we think that they do, and they understand more than we realize. You know, even out of the womb, you know, me being adopted and everything, I've been watching a lot of, you know, research a lot and listening and watching a lot of videos on psychologists talking about that. Like the infant, the unborn infant, once they're torn away from their parent, they know. They know that that connection is gone. It's been severed. They know that. I wish we could take a bus trip together. That would be so awesome. Go like to a pretty the mountain setting or some like retreat with waterfalls and stuff. That would be so awesome. If I had the money, I'd do it. I'd fly us all out somewhere. um, so I want you guys to think about something. What if that shame that you've been carrying was never originally yours? And I know that's a huge statement. So I want to explore it together with you. So you guys have been probably all here told that you're too sensitive, you're selfish, you're dramatic, you're crazy, you're impossible to love, you're the problem. I know we've all heard that. Type one phrase that you've heard over and over and over again, like the top one you can think about. And for those of you, anybody that's come in that's new here, my name is Glennis. I'm the creator of Shredding Silence. I have this page to educate about narcissistic abuse, toxic relationships, and dynamics, generational trauma, adoption trauma, any kind of trauma, and steps to take to heal that. And I have this community as a safe place for victims and survivors to be able to talk and express themselves, and we all lift each other up. So absolutely believe it's projected onto us. Yeah. The people that were responsible for our health and welfare installed the mindset and ingrained thoughts. Yeah, they programmed up here. They programmed everything. Every way we thought about ourselves, what we were supposed to like, what we were supposed to do, how we were supposed to act, everything programmed. And what's one of the phrases that you guys remember from childhood that you've heard over and over, still to this day, and then when the narcissist came along, they just kind of reinforced all of that. Set up for failure. Yes. I know one of the phrases I always hear till this day is everybody's better than you. The comparison thing. And that's not my voice. That was a parent's voice. That was my mother's voice. My mother reveled in guilt trips, but mostly ignored me otherwise. Yeah, to punish you. Punish you and make you feel less than, and I'm so sorry you went through that. Any of you, all of you guys in here. Katie says, you think you're so smart. Trying to get you to doubt yourself and feel dumb without saying that you're dumb or stupid, making you feel like you are. So look at these comments. Different homes, different relationships, different countries maybe, and yet so many of us were handed the same receipt. Yeah, I thought I heard the voice switch right away, Glennis. Yeah. That's good that you recognize it, Deanna. Instead of realize, for so long thinking something's wrong with you. What's wrong with me? I'm defective. How many, because we eventually start saying those things to yourself, even when the narcissist isn't around anymore, even or whoever installed that into our brains isn't around anymore, it's still there. And this is what broke my heart when I realized it. That all these people may have left, they may not be in our life anymore, but their voices stayed with us. That's very haunting. And then I realized one day that nobody had called me too much in a long time, but I was still saying it to myself. Nobody was saying, Glennis, you're difficult. I was doing the job for them. And that's when I realized the abuse had ended, but the shame had not. Katie says, remind me to stay out of her way and stay quiet so she can feel better about herself. Yeah, and now that she's not here, Katie, you still hear her voice quite often? So the abuse ended, but the shame had not, because those things keep playing on a loop, the things that they programmed in our head. Yes. Yeah. So we catch ourselves criticizing ourselves, using the exact same words that they did. Are you guys still using the exact same words that they did, programmed you with? Because that's why healing can feel very confusing. When the narcissist is no longer in your life, whether that's the romantic narcissist, your parents, an aunt, an uncle, a friend, anybody, it doesn't have to just be the romantic, narcissist that you were with, anybody. That's why healing can feel so confusing, because their narcissist may no longer be in your life, but their words have rented space in your mind. They're living in your mind rent free with the things that they say that echo inside your brain. And I want to ask you guys this too. If a child hears you're too sensitive 100 times, what do you think that child grows up believing? That they're too freaking sensitive. So they try to be tough and act like nothing bothers them. I've been there, done that. You laugh and you go along with it and act like it doesn't bother you. The negative chatter. So they grow up believing, I'm too sensitive. They don't grow up believing, my parent struggles to regulate their emotions. No child is able to comprehend what's going on. Ever consider having a burial ritual in your mind, Katie, meaning a way to give yourself closure and freedom? That sounds awesome. Deanna, can you share what that consists of? Are you writing things down on a paper and like burning it? Is it that kind of concept, or tearing up the paper, just writing all that stuff and burning it or something? Because that sounds awesome. That they can't trust their true emotions. Yes. All the gaslighting and everything. You second guess yourself. You doubt yourself. But no child thinks, after being told that all over again, that they don't think my parents are struggling to regulate their emotions. They don't know what the hell that is. So the child believes, I must be too sensitive, and that's the shame. But I want you guys to hear this. Children don't question people who raise them. I said this earlier. They question themselves, and partners do the same thing. Instead of asking, why are they treating me this way, we ask, what's wrong with me? And that shift creates that shame. Yeah, Deanna, that sounds very interesting. So hopefully she's going to share that with us, because all the tools that we can get in here, the better. Like, I welcome it big time. I thought about going to a desert and burying a memory container. I remember you saying that, Katie, like the next time you come out here and we can get little capsules, or what was like the snow globe things or whatever. Yeah, remind me of what that was about. Because Deanna says, yeah, you can do that. Just picture them dead and gone and you are free. They can't hurt you anymore. Yes. That's perfect. And we can kind of bury those negative chatters, the you're too sensitive, you're not good enough, something's wrong with you, you're damaged. Maybe write that on a piece of paper and burn it. I know there's a book like that, and I have it in my Amazon cart, but I cannot remember what it is for the moment because of brain fog. But it's kind of that concept where you just write down those things. Yeah, Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has a lot of awesome things for to use for healing, little rituals and stuff like that. And just write those negative things down. And these are not my thoughts. And crinkle it up. Do whatever you spit on it. Of that, because it's all toxic. It's all pollution. And it's not your thoughts. It's not who you are. So here's something I love for everyone to think about today. The next time that voice in your head says you're too much, you're impossible, you're stupid, just stop for 1 second and ask yourself, who does this voice sound like? Because healing doesn't always begin by changing the voice. Sometimes it begins by recognizing it was never yours. Self-healing for $10. I don't remember how much the book cost. I'm gonna have to go look. Are you talking about the book I was talking about, Katie, or is this a different one? Yeah, recognizing that the shame, it was never yours. Whatever is private, personal, has meaning to you and is safe to do. Yes, that's awesome. I love that. I love that idea. Um, Dollar Tree idea. Dollar Tree's great. So shame keeps you asking the wrong questions, right? I want to show you guys something that completely changed how I look at my own healing. Because shame is sneaky. Ask, why didn't I leave sooner? Why didn't I see the red flags? Why did I go back? Why do I still miss them? Why wasn't I enough? Then look at yeah, and I want to do a whole other thing about that too. Healing has so many different layers, and I used to take when I was in therapy many years ago in my younger years, probably in my 20s, early 30s, my therapist did cognitive behavioral therapy. And I wondered why it never worked. And because of what Hava Java just said, because it lives in your body, that trauma lives in your body, you have to go into all the different body parts, not only your brain and the way you think, but it lives in your cells and your nervous system and all of it. So you absolutely have to do all the steps to healing. It's not just talking about it. That's a huge part of it. But getting that out of your body, and your mind, all of it, it works as a full system. I thought cognitive awareness is the beginning. Awareness is the beginning. Shame makes you ask, what's wrong with me? Healing helps you to understand to not be anywhere you're not welcomed as you are. Yes, and the invalidation, this sign, I've showed it before to you guys. I think I posted it in the community. I can put it up again about your feelings. Your feelings matter. And don't let anyone make you think otherwise. But when you ask those questions that I asked earlier, why wasn't I enough? Why didn't I see the red flags? Why didn't I leave sooner? Why do I still miss them? Meditation with movement like Glennis does, or guided meditations. Yes. Tai Chi, walks out in nature, putting your feet in the grass, breathing, just being. Just being. Breathing the fresh air, walking out in the rain. Nature is very helpful. Getting out of the busyness of life. So when you say, why didn't I see the red flags? Why did I go back? Why do I still miss them? Why wasn't I enough? Look at every one of those questions. Who's it about when you're saying I? Because shame always turns the spotlight back on you. Shame always turns the spotlight back on you. So what if we've been asking the wrong question all along? Instead of, why didn't I leave? Maybe the question is, what made it so difficult to leave? Instead of saying, why was I so stupid? Maybe it's what tactics kept me confused. Instead of why did I go back, maybe it's what needs or hopes kept pulling me back. Instead of what's wrong with me, maybe it's what happened to me. Can you feel the difference, you guys? One question attacks you and the other helps you understand yourself. I used to brush the palms of my hands over tree trunks. Something about the bark helped me. I've heard very healing things about trees. I absolutely believe that. Nature helps a lot. Nature helps ground your and get you out of all that craziness in your mind. But so that one question attacks you, you guys, and the other helps you to understand it. Become curious about yourself instead of those old voices, and ask yourself what led me to that behavior. What was going on there? Like, dig a little bit deeper, because I think totally that's the refraining. Like, from a totally different perspective, I can't stand the thought of failure, as in my mother was correct about me. She wasn't correct about you, Katie. The thing that's correct is she set you up for failure. You said it earlier. She set you up for failure. You didn't set you up for failure. You were surviving the best that you knew how. And the reframing, like Hava Java said, we're all beautiful people that did not deserve to be programmed the way we were. But the beautiful thing is we can fix it, we can change it, we can hug trees and all kinds of stuffs. And we're here now together, supporting each other, lifting each other up, guiding each other. This group is awesome. So the one question attacks you. What is wrong with me? How about what are the conditions that led me to feel like that? That weren't my fault. Because I was a young child, as young as 3 years old, even before that. I think the first time now, I have the answer, you guys. The first time I felt shame was when I was ripped away from my mother and given away. Because I thought, what is wrong with me that my mother did not keep me? But that's not my fault. I have a friend in here that was adopted too. It wasn't her fault either. That was somebody else's choice. It's like, I think about it like this now. If you found a $100 bill crumpled up on the ground, it's torn, it needs to be taped back together, is that still worth $100? If you tape it back together, they're still gonna take it in the store, right? You could still put it in your bank, right? They'll switch it out with one that's not torn. And that's how I think about myself, and that's how we have to think about ourselves. Like, we may have been crumpled up by somebody else, beaten down, told that we're not enough, we're stupid, this, that, and the other, but we are still worthy. Just like that $100 bill. If you found that $100 bill crumpled up on the ground, it is still worth $100. Just like all of us in here. Deanna says, my mother freaked out when I took a cake, destroyed it, smearing the nasty chemical frosting over a big piece of cardboard. She was disturbed even though she did not make it. Fake food is not wasting. Wow, I wish she would have celebrated you instead, because that's art right there. You are artist trying to make art from cake frosting. And yeah, most cake frosting's pretty freaking nasty. So I don't see anything wrong that you did. It was your mom's problem. Yeah, fake food. There's no nutritional value in that cake frosting. And I'm sorry you had to have your artistic abilities, your artistic need to explore, smushed by her. Movie reference. Help me out with the reference. I should have made mountains with my mashed potatoes. Is it really from a movie? Let me know, because I'm always looking for new movies to watch. So I think one of the biggest turning points in my healing is when I stopped interrogating myself and started getting curious about myself. Close Encounters. It's been a while since I've seen that. A long, long time. That tells you how much, because I didn't remember. Close Encounters. Let me write it down. Close Encounters. Encounters and the mashed potatoes. So we got to stop interrogating ourselves and get curious about ourselves, because that's a huge difference. Instead of I'm weak, try what was I surviving? Instead of I failed or I'm a failure, try what was I hoping would change? Curiosity, remember this, if you guys take away anything from today, that curiosity heals and shame. Curiosity asks, help me to understand. And shame says, the case is closed. Healing never happens in a courtroom. It happens in having difficult conversations. Shame doesn't ask questions. Shame reaches a verdict that says the case is closed, and they pound the gavel. The case is closed. But healing is different. Healing gets curious and it asks, help me understand. Tell me what happened. Let's stay with this a little longer. That brings me back to something, you guys, because I've shared this with you. I think you all know what I shared with my older daughter. One of the hardest things for me has been learning that healing requires hard conversation. When someone decides the story is over before there's been an understanding, it can leave you carrying unanswered questions. And this is about my daughter. And it's so different from saying, let's stay in this conversation long enough to understand each other. And I want so shame reaches a verdict, which that's happened with us. It says the case is closed. Healing says to help. I was hoping that she could lean in, but we have to do the same thing with ourselves when those things, those thoughts, those negative chitter chatter go through our head, to lean in and have understanding for ourselves, to ask questions and get curious. Why? Why did I think this about myself? What led up to this? What situation? Because it's about that shame again, and putting it outward. What caused me to act like that? Hi, Kiki. Welcome in here. We're talking about shame after narcissistic abuse, and how healing never happens in a courtroom. Like healing and it means having difficult conversations, not with only other people, but ourselves. Like it means being curious about why those negative things are in our head. It asks questions like, help me understand. So it helps you understand yourself instead of saying things like, I'm stupid, or I failed. Ask something like, what was I surviving? Especially coming out of narcissistic abuse. What was I surviving? Because people will often say, I love algorithms, I need this. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm glad the algorithm found you. So shame, instead of saying I'm weak, or why did I not know, or why did I stay so long? Instead of that, asking, on the past when something could have literally happened a second ago, and they say, let's move on. Why are you always hanging on to the past? Y'all heard that one. Case closed. I froze. Oh no, I don't look frozen on my screen. Let me know, am I frozen for all of you guys? Can you hear me? Yeah, slowed down video. It might be my stupid internet. Because I'm okay on the TV, I'm okay on my phone. You've been coming in and out. Dang it. I don't know why this, maybe I need to switch back the internet that I had before. You guys hear me okay now? Shitternet. Yeah, like a relationship. Sometimes sound. Dang it. I'm sorry, you guys. All right, well, I'll try to carry on the best I can. I don't know what 5 by 5 means. So shame wants a verdict. Remember this. Shame wants a verdict. Healing wants understanding. So we have to understand ourselves. A narc will tell you to move on from the past even though they just did their actions 3 seconds ago. Exactly. Shit, it could happen a second ago and they'll say, why do you have to hold on to the past? Military, for I hear you fine. Okay, military. I forgot you were military, Deanna. 5 by 5. Or 10-4. That's trucker talk. Copy that. Trucker talk. Trucker and military. So, shame wants a verdict. Healing wants understanding. I want to share something with you guys. My shame, I think I shared it from you for last week, but I want to bring it up again because it made me think of it. When I watched the Narcissist Playbook, and there was a moment where Sam Backman started crying. His lip was all, quivering, and he said this, "Can someone teach me how to exist?" And you know what happened? My heart broke for that minute. 10-4, good buddy. For a moment, I saw what a little boy looked like who never learned how to be human. And then shame showed up. It whispered. My shame showed up and it whispered, seriously, Glennis? After everything you've been through, after everything you learned, you still got pulled in by a narcissist? With his fake act, with his fake crying, with his fake shivering lip, you still got pulled in. Have you ever done that to yourself, you guys? Have you ever done that to yourself? Have you ever judged yourself for having compassion? Because I think we probably all have. Uh-oh, my light is going off. Okay, let's plug this in so I'm not sitting in the dark. Let's go down. Because, there we go. I don't ever want to lose that. I don't ever want to be like a narcissist. The difference today is that I didn't stop at the tears. I didn't stop at his quivering lip. I kept looking at the pattern. And I realized, okay, this is a narcissist doing exactly what narcissists do. Because you can have empathy and you can have your understanding and boundaries at the same time. I can have empathy for you, but that doesn't mean I have to open the gates to let you abuse me. And that's what I realized. So I've said for years, let me see, that moment enraged me. He is so fake. Yeah. Rage, that's so understandable. It's not because you had compassion, it's because that person was fake and deceptive. But we're also still empathetic. After being through all the abuse that all of us have been through in here, we're still able to have the empathy, but also the discernment at the same time. So I bounced back quicker. That's why I gave myself some forgiveness. But at first there was shame there. Like, it's going, really, Glennis? Are you fucking stupid? You haven't learned yet? That automatically came into my brain and I had to fight against it. In other words, it's a reflection on him and not of you, exactly. It's like how we cry at the movies, but they are actors. Yes, Haba Jabba. You're just that way. Yes. Yeah, it's because we like to give people the benefit, we have the empathy, the benefit of the doubt, but then, reality did kick in, and I thought, okay, this is a narcissist. This is all bullshit. He's acting, just like in the movies, like Haba Jabba said. And here's another thing. I told you guys this last week. I don't know if you all heard it, but you know how I've said I wish I could be a fly on the wall in Sam Vaknin's house, or I wish I could interview and he had to shut it down immediately. So I watched as she calmly asked about his personal life. It wasn't really his personal life, though. It was his professional life. So you can only imagine how he would respond if I were to have an interview with him and I would ask him those personal questions. Because the ones I want to ask him are personal. So when he said, we agreed not to talk about my personal life, I remember thinking, wow, I don't have to be a fly on the wall anymore. I like how we cry at but they are actors. You're just that way. How about a fly on the wall from Africa that gives us sleeping sickness? I like your way of thinking, Deanna. That would be great. So I just watched what happened when the spotlight turned on Sam, because he's perfectly okay with talking about everybody else, all the other narcissists in the world except himself. So here's what's important. This isn't really about Sam. It's about what happened inside of me at that time. My first instinct was the compassion. My second instinct was shame. My third instinct was discernment. And I remembered something incredibly important, that those two things, empathy and discernment, can exist together. I don't have to be cold to become wise. I don't have to be a jerk or a bitch to become wise. I don't have to stop feeling compassion. None of us do. We just have to keep looking at the pattern. The pattern. So if you ever felt ashamed because you missed someone, because you believed in another apology, because you fell for their tears, even if it was for a nanosecond, because you felt compassion, please hear me. Your humanity is not your weakness. Just like Deanna said, because I'm human, that's just the way I am. Your humanity is not your weakness. The goal isn't to become less empathetic. The goal is to let your empathy walk hand in hand with discernment. And I love that African fly on the sleeping sickness. I'll be the bitch sometimes, I don't care. Yeah, you wear the crown, you don't care after a while. If keeping boundaries and I'll hand them out. Moral insanity of the truly narcissistic, shocking to confront, but the gift of wisdom, realizing it exists, is a gift. Yes. Watching Sam have the spotlight is about the same as watching a roast scramble. That's exactly what it was like, wasn't it? He was so quick he couldn't figure out how to get the microphone thing on, and he was asking for help with that so he could get the fuck out of there. Skating, LOL. Skating, what did I miss about skating? We can have empathy for someone, but that doesn't mean we have to disappear and let them, dwindle us down for nothing and do as they please. So what shame steals is, look, I meant she liked Katie's comment, skating. Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you for that clarity, Deanna and Hava Java. So I've been thinking a lot this week about what shame actually costs us, because it doesn't just make us feel bad, it steals things. What has shame stolen from you? I know you guys. What has shame stolen from you? I don't see Kelly in here. Is Kelly in here? Here's some examples. A couple of mine are my confidence, my voice, my career. Here's some other examples. Your joy, friendships, health, trust, peace, identity. Things that you lose because of shame. Nobody said it stole my ability to make toast. What's something shame has stolen from you guys? I'll just wait a little bit because I think it's delayed. Something shame has stolen from you guys. Am I frozen again, you guys? It must be delayed. I think there's a setting inside. I'll have to look at it next time if I remember. A setting to, I know there's a setting to, you can't hear me? Shame has created a bad posture habit that I consistently have to correct myself, sit up straight. Oh my gosh, did your mom ever pull your hair and tell you to sit up straight? Mine did that all the time. She started doing that with my kids and I was like, oh hell no. You are not going to do that to my children. What did that create in you, Katie? Shame robs you of your ability to be present with the awesomeness of life because you feel defective and you aren't. It gives you a false sense of reality. Like a false narrative, huh? Haba jabba. So look at this. Nobody said it stole my ability to make toast. It stole the things that make us feel alive. It steals our voice. How many times have you stayed quiet because you're afraid people wouldn't believe you? It steals our intuition. Mine pulled my ears. Yeah, same here. And she'd hit me on the head with a brush if I even moved in the slightest while she was doing my hair. I think our moms did similar things like that. So how many of us have stayed quiet because we were afraid nobody would believe us? It steals our intuition, shame does. How many times have you ignored your gut because you trusted someone else's version of reality more than your own? Even to today, I have to write things down because I'm still developing that trust in myself. Sometimes I still doubt myself and I have to look and write everything down or put a voice note down because it still is your intuition from ignoring our gut for so long that we had to look to somebody else for the version of reality. That wasn't even the real version of reality. It steals our confidence and suddenly every decision that you make feels terrifying. You second guess yourself. You overthink everything. You ask everybody else what do they think because somewhere along the way you stop trusting yourself. It steals our joy because shame whispers, who do you think you are to be happy? Who do you think you are to succeed? Who do you think you are to move on? Has anyone ever felt guilty for being happy after leaving? Even just for a little bit? Because if you have, that's shame. Shame doesn't just want you to survive, it wants you to stay small. Like the narcissist wanted you small. So what if today, instead of asking, what's wrong with me, you ask, what has shame been stealing from me? I have a fear of big 70s purses and wooden spoons, coffee pot cords. One. Yeah, the PTSD for you. CTPSD. I'm so glad I left. I'm so glad we all left, you guys. All of us. Or most of us here. I think Deanna's still dealing with that. I wish we could rescue everybody. Let's go to a nice island together. So what's shame been stealing from you? Because once you know it's been stolen, you can begin taking it back. And I'd love everybody to answer one last question before I open it up. What's one thing you're taking back that shame has stolen from you? One thing that you're taking back. Here's some examples. My voice. Better away from abuse. Absolutely. My voice, my peace, my confidence, my laughter, my boundaries, my intuition, my future. You guys add whatever. One thing that you're taking back that shame stole from you. I'm taking back my belief in myself, to stop second guessing myself, to, yes, this is what happened. Yes, I did do that. Yes, because I am double checking all the time. So it's taking work, my opinion, even if I'm incorrect. Taking back your opinion, because yes, your opinion matters. My sense of who I am and how I am, my story. Absolutely, because that's a part of you and who you are. I love that answer. I love these answers, you guys. This is what recovery is. This is what healing is. It's not becoming somebody new. It's taking back the parts of yourself that shame convinced you never deserved, because you deserve all of it. And I'd like to leave you guys with this. So shame has a microphone in your life, has had a microphone in your life for a very long time. So maybe today you don't silence it completely. Maybe today you simply stop believing everything it says. Because shame is a storyteller. It's a liar. It tells you who you are, but that doesn't mean it's telling you the truth. Every time you choose curiosity instead of criticism, every time you replace judgment with compassion, every time you ask, whose voice is this? Is this my voice or somebody else's voice? What's wrong instead of what's wrong with me? You're taking another step towards becoming yourself again. Taking back yourself, taking back your power. So until next week, be gentle with yourself. I'm going to open this up now for anybody who wants to grab that link and come on and have a chance to talk. But until then, be gentle with yourself. Thank you, Hava Java. I'm glad. Oh, my voice is... I'm quitting vaping, and I've been barely vaping, and it's clearing everything out. But thank you so much. That means so much to me, because I want to help everyone. I don't want anyone thinking like this. It's a horrible place to be. You know, we took the abuse for too long. It's time for freedom from all of that. To be gentle with ourselves, because shame has been speaking for way too long, and it doesn't have to be the loudest voice anymore, you guys. So thank you for showing up here. Thank you for showing up for yourselves. I'm going to open the floor now. Like I said, if you go on my page and you go to the post tab on the top, you know, you'll see videos, shorts, post, or then above that, I think it says community. Click on there, and it should be the very first post that has the link to come on here and talk live. You don't have to, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to show your face. Your voice is what matters here. Your voice deserves to be heard. And it's a safe space for you to come on and talk. Because I know some of us don't have anyone to talk to. You know, it can be, healing from narcissistic abuse can be a very lonely place. You know, you feel very judged by a lot of people because they don't understand it. But everybody here has been through it. Some are still going through it. And we have moderators in here, 2 moderators in here, so it's a very safe space. You're going to be validated, you'll be seen, and you'll be able to say what deserves to be said. Negative thoughts are like prison with an open door. Exactly. Yes, that's such a good way to put it, Katie. I love that analogy. Thank you for that. So I'd love to hear from you, whoever wants to come on in. Like I said, if you like to come on camera, you're welcome. If not, you can just type in the comments, or we can keep this open in the comments for a little bit longer. Since the last time, you know, was kind of cut short, we got cut off. I plan on staying for a while today, just hanging out with you all. I already did my studying for my coaching earlier this morning, so I wouldn't have to cut this short, because being with you guys means a lot to me. I love this community. So it's a judgment-free space, you guys. Whoever wants to come on, you don't have to have the perfect words. You don't have to have everything figured out. Just tell me, where has shame shown up in your life, or whatever it is you want to talk about. When someone shares something painful, I'll just go over some stuff that I've been working on, because when I help other people, it helps me to heal. So learning how to lean in and listen to other people helps me to lean into myself, because I've said this before on lives, that one of my big discoveries through healing has been learning that someone can only meet you where they are. So what I mean by that is, a narcissist is so shallow. They don't like connection. That when they get with you, connection is not their number one priority. It's control. Y'all know that. Um, so when you come out of narcissistic abuse, you want that connection with somebody, right? And you start to notice shallow people that, they only talk to you when it's good for them, or they'll only talk about themselves, or they never ask about you. They never lean in. They never say, like, what's going on with you? How's your life? Or, there's no curiosity. So what's helping me, that's how, okay, I got a little bit ahead of myself. I got the ADHD brain going. I can't catch up. Let me catch up. So back to that, the shallow part, because narcissists are so shallow, they don't want connection, that you crave that so much when you get out of a narcissistic relationship. Um, and I think of it this way, like being on a beach, and there's people that are on the shallow part of the beach. They're just, the waves come in a little bit and it touches their feet. But I'm out there, or you're out there a little bit farther where the waves are, you're body surfing or whatever, and nobody wants to come out there and meet you. So they like to stay in the shallow end. And I found, and I think a lot of people have found that they can't handle shallow relationships anymore, like fake people, or people that just come around when they want something from you, kind of thing. Let me read this and then I'll get back to what I was at. Hava Java says, Glennis, my mother was very rejecting of my body and shamed it. I think that shame I carried set me up to be hooked by the narc wanting my sexuality. Yeah, because you want that acceptance, and they make you work hard to get it too. And I'm sorry to put you through that, shaming us. I can relate to that too. Very body shaming, jealous. A lot of them are jealous that she's projecting her insecurities onto you about your body. So am I correct in saying that it made you, want that validation from the narcissist? That because narcissists are very sexual. They'll use that as a way to hook you, part of the love bombing, make you feel like you're the most sexy person ever, and they desire you and only you. Yes, she said yes. They desire you and only you. Only you come to find, and this points to one of my short videos that I just posted, that they just basically fuck you. It's not love. It's not connection and love the way that we feel towards them, because you might accidentally find their phone, or on the computer you can see the search history. All that's in there is porn sites, Pornhub, looking up half-naked women or naked women, or they're groping people with their eyes in front of you. And then all of a sudden, when you're up here, then they bring you down here and you feel like, okay, I thought my body was desirable. I thought they desired me. And now all of a sudden I'm in competition with all these other people. And then all those feelings, the way that your mom made you feel, come back. So all those feelings were already there, and the narcissist just played upon it. You were already feeling that way about your body, and they use that against you. Because you're always in competition with the narcissist, always. Who we're missing is Honey Pepper. Yeah, sex is not love. Absolutely. That mother, she ain't mine, would pinch me and tell me I'm fat. I wasn't. She loved telling me how skinny she was, no stretch marks after I gave birth. Yeah. Again, projecting she feels about her body onto you. Sharon's coming on. Let's see. Yay. All right. We're going to add ya. I hope I don't go, I hope I don't free. Oh, I lost it. Oh, there you are.
There
Hi.
I am. Hi, how's everybody
I hope I don't
doing?
freeze. I'm not
Yeah.
frozen, am I?
No, not yet, but
Okay.
just back and forth. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like when you stop and think about it, shame guides you more than your narcissistic parent or any other type of parent. Shame guides you. It's more like the leader when you start out so young, because what your parent is telling you to do something, but in your mind you're like, I don't, for me, I didn't know how to do that chore, but I knew that if I didn't do that chore the way she wanted it, my shame would take over because that's how she directed me. And I would feel more guilty because at 3 and 4 years old, I didn't know how to sweep and mop. I didn't even have the physical capability.
Right.
No child does. But the shame will guide you quicker than the parents will. So they barely have to do any parenting because parenting
Mhm.
involves so much responsibility and accountability and wiping. When you have little kids, you're wiping everything, you know.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that was kind of an interesting concept I had thought about because it was just like, wow, they really didn't even have to do much parenting. Not by comparison, because when you become a parent and you have your own child, you know, you're constantly after them. I tend to
Mhm.
wonder if, as us as Gen Xers had really kind of started off the helicopter parenting, because it's like I know for myself when my son was young, I was protecting him. I was on him. It drove him nuts, but I I was on him, you know, because it was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know, I didn't want him to hurt like I hurt,
Right.
because
I
that's
think I did the same thing. I was a
yeah,
helicopter parent. Uh-huh.
and that was before it was cool. Anyway,
Right. So
but
intergenerational. Yes, Hava Java. Yeah, we a lot of us have the mother wounds. Yeah.
oh, tons of them. And then the thing that's been popping in my head, I've been watching Patrick Teehan in the last couple of weeks, and he's doing a series right now on the safe parent. Why is a safe
Mhm.
parent not safe? So, usually, it's not uncommon when you have a narcissistic parent. For me as mom, my dad would have been the safe parent. Well, they're not safe because they are compliant to their narcissistic partner. So they will make
Right.
you as the child comply like they're complying so the house stays quiet. We don't want no trouble. We don't want anybody to know what's going on. We want to
Right.
appear, you know, white picket fence and, you know, two kids and a couple of dogs, and we're doing well. We don't want anybody knowing that we are not doing well. We don't want anybody knowing that we
Wow.
need help.
That's so crazy that you say that because my dad would I would go to him as well, like to save me,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
he would intervene and stuff like that to keep the peace. Wow.
And so now think about this. What kind of men did we find? Not
Yeah.
only did we find the narcissistic man, but we found the narcissistic man that would, you know, that's where the breadcrumbing comes in. And so we became the compliant, because that's the other thing
Hmm.
Patrick Teehan became very famous for is like when you have a narcissistic parent, and you grow up, what you're always do your relationships are always you're always going to be looking for your most difficult person to re-correct that. And so in my concept, I was always looking for my mother in my relationship so I could finally get her to love me. I'm like, oh
Right.
my fucking god, I've been doing this for 56 years. What a fucking waste.
Uh-huh.
That bitch was never going to love me.
That's maddening, huh?
Oh, it's
Wow.
it's
And
just
Hamjava says
infuriating.
father father was a safe parent, but never stopped the abuse either. Same with Havajava, what we went through. My ex was like my mother. Wow. Yes, because the compliant. Yes. Wow. Isn't that
And so
crazy
we
how we realize this stuff? Like all the
yeah,
puzzle pieces are coming together.
so in your
Wow.
mind, you know, in your twisted thoughts, because that's a part of negative chatter is twisted. It's incorrect. It's upside down. When you're with a
Hmm.
narcissistic partner, you become compliant automatically because that's what you've seen. That's how you grew up. So that's what you think is normal.
Right.
And in the end,
And
you
it
get hurt.
wasn't.
It was
It
never
wasn't.
normal.
Yeah.
It was never normal. And so we as children, because I've always, God blessed me with a big mouth. Which usually got me beat up for, but you know, just like, but it was just so when as the scapegoat, the black sheep, the Cinderella in my case, every time I'd say something, I'd clock something, woo, that's when the abuse really kicked in. So once again, it clicked in for my head. Oh, when you tell the truth, you get beat up. That's normal,
Hmm.
right?
Papa Java says, keep your big mouth going. I've never seen what you just said. I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
And then Deanna said, with two cats in the yard, life used to be so hard. Everything's easier, blah, blah, blah. Oops.
Yeah. So, and that carried on into my relationships. Technically, and when I had to stop and think about it, the question you just asked, Glennis, is like, what is something you consistently heard, which was a negative in your life from childhood to adulthood? And that was my phrase. You think you're so smart. My mom used to say it all the time because when I tell the truth, oh, you think you're so smart. So when I carried into
Hmm.
relationships as an adult, what did every last husband, boyfriend, everybody, you think you're so smart. I'm like, oh, I must be on the right path. They're saying the same thing my mom did.
Right.
The the first husband, he was like, you think you're so smart, really big words, which then made me click off like, I married this. I had a child with it. I'm like, oh my God. What the fuck? I gotta, yeah. They're either you're contemplating stopping drinking or contemplating to start drinking because you realize this was not going to be a great adventure. Yeah,
Yeah.
all these years later, 30 plus years later, I'm just now like, I have been babysitting as a Gen Xer. Of course, we all started babysitting as a paid job at 8. But I'm like, that went all the way through my adulthood. I was not a wife.
Wow.
I was barely a mom. I was always a babysitter, unpaid,
Hmm.
uncredited, uncared for. I was the illegal immigrant worker.
Parentified.
Yeah, parentified the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
Hava wants to bring you to her next therapy appointment.
Oh,
She says, I'm in shock. I need to bring you to my next therapy appointment. Yes, be, because compliant,
yeah.
become compliant. Yeah.
Yeah. Compliance. We become compliant because it's normal and it's not. It's twisted. You have to. I always think back to my childhood because I did grow up with vinyl. I grew up with real stereos, right? And as a
Hmm.
kid, I always went, I loved the sound of that needle scratching across the record because I wanted a different sound.
Hmm.
Now,
Right.
was that great for my parents' albums? No, they hated me a little bit further for that, but I can kind of understand. But, but it was just, because I would do it when she would always have on music, same habit I have. But hers was the I don't know if anybody remembers them. 1970s, the great big old stereo, the wooden one with the velveteen
Yep.
inlets, and you had to lift the lid. And you got your albums over here and your secret liquor cabinet over there, and you got your stereo in the middle.
Hmm.
God, and they always had them stacked, and it was just like when she'd be on me and on me and on me and on me. Even as a child, the only thing I knew how to do to rebel was just go over and bump the stereo because I was a big fat kid all the time. You're so fat, you bump into everything. I'm like, well, just, yeah, lovely woman she was. But it was just part of my rebellion. I'd end up grabbing that thing and just, you know, it would piss
Hmm.
her off because she was pissing me off, and I didn't understand what being angry was because you weren't allowed to be angry. You
Right.
weren't allowed to have an opinion. So even if like if you had siblings, whatever snack they wanted in the afternoon, you either weren't going to get the snack because you're too fat. That was me. I was too fat for anything. Um, or if they had the really good apples, you kind of got the rotten ones
Hmm.
because of your behavior. And I'm
Right.
like,
That's your
yeah,
punishment.
that's your punishment. You don't get fed well. You're not treated well. You become compliant.
Hmm.
And so
And
that's the
that the
hard
word
part.
compliant, Hava says, I'm not a recovering empath. I'm a recovering compliant. I love that.
Yep. Yeah.
I love
Because
that.
yeah, I'm not compliant anymore, and it's building further. I'm 2 years out now, right? And so it's building because in the very beginning of all this, I stuttered for 2 months, and I literally shook for about 2.5 months, and shrunk down, just kept my head down because that's a normal childhood habit. When I feel so horrible, just because my mom used to get really mad at me because she was 5'4", 5'6" if you include the big old bouffant, and so hell, by the time I was 10, I was taller than her. I was head and shoulder, and she'd get so mad at me because I was tall, and that's why she'd jump up and grab my ears. And so even when I'm so it's something I have to work on more. That's why I was saying sit up straight. But it's like became a habit to just, shrink myself down. And when you're 5'11", you can't shrink small enough.
That's
You
hard
just,
to do. Yeah.
yeah, and so it's just like
Confinements
all these things
about
are
trying to be
starting to,
safe.
yeah, all these things are starting to fire like fireworks. They're just pop, 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 pop. All these ideas. And I was just like, oh my God, what a bitch. I mean, because if you think about
Mm-hmm.
it, it is not hard to be considered as, boy, was my childhood or my, going into my adulthood, boy, that was messed up. But even as messed up as we were, kind of are, trying to work through it, didn't do that shit to our own kids.
Right.
Would never do that. I would never do that. And I don't do that to people. I don't. And up until now, even if somebody would harp on me and be negative and rude and all that others, I wouldn't say anything. Now I'll give you about two chances, and then all of a sudden, here it
Mm-hmm.
comes. There you stepped in that
You
pile of
see
shit.
that
Here we
you
go.
see that pattern very quickly now.
Yeah, yeah. It's
People.
just it's so weird to be able to see a pattern of someone's behavior, because the first thing that I notice is that I'll get an eye twitch. It's like, there, I start going to Yosemite Sam shit, and you know, and then my stomach gets upset the more it goes on, and then I'm like, I either got to get out of the room or I got to verbalize what the hell I got to say, and then I got to go, because no matter what you have to say,
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to be the truth, a narcissistic person or toxic person or avoidant and blah 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 whatever, they're not going to want, they want to shut you down,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're not going to hear it. So it's just like it's starting to become something that I can actually step up for myself and say, hey, this shit's not right, and I don't want it here. And then I have to remind myself, I'm
Right.
58 years old. This is my fucking house. I pay rent. I pay mortgage. I ain't the kid. You don't like being
Mm-hmm.
here. Don't let the good Lord
There's the
hit you where the
door.
door split you.
Sword
And
of
so
Damocles. I think we got another movie. Is that a movie? I'm behind in movies.
keep your big mouth going. Okay, remember that song. you
Is that a
know,
song? Who sings it? Who sings that? Keep your big mouth going is a song.
I don't know. It might be. Who knows? Probably from the 70s. And I'm slaying Hava Java. And but yeah, it's just kind of one of those.
That
Do what? Say again.
I'm writing stuff down.
Uh oh.
Writing stuff down to look it up.
You know,
All these
I don't know.
movies and stuff.
Has anybody else made the connection of narcissism in our history? In the aspect
It's been
of,
since the beginning of time.
yeah.
Kelly's
I mean,
here. Hi, Kelly.
that's what
She
I'm
made
saying.
it.
I tend to wonder, if you want to go biblical, I tend to wonder if, Adam and Eve made Cain and Abel. So two sons. The one son, Cain killed Abel. So yeah, I wonder if Cain was the narcissist, because he had to have all the attention from the world, his parents. He had to own it all. And so he was willing to fight the only other person on on this earth at the time, biblical terms, and had to kill him to dominate. I tend to wonder, but
Probably.
also, yeah. And then in the aspect, if we go all the way back, like our childhoods, there was so many killings of wives having to go to prison because they killed their husbands mysteriously, and it was always mysteriously. It was never an actuality. Even in our news programs
Mhm.
way back when, it wasn't about people who could perpetrate torture in the home, but killings. Like now it's almost common. You hear about something at least once a month, if not twice a month, of a husband losing his crap and just blowing his kids' heads off, murdering his wife, just losing it. And so it's just like, yeah, the narcissism's everywhere.
Yeah,
And I think it's been around, and
yeah, that latest one was Shannon. So disturbing.
it's all disturbing because it's just like,
Let's see.
oh God, what was it? 20 years ago, I guess maybe. It was she was they were one of the not Church of Latter-day Saints, but Jehovah Witness types. Um
Uh-huh.
she had 5 children already and was pregnant with the sixth. The husband was super happy about it, and she loaded all the children up into the minivan and tried to drive the whole damn minivan into the ocean.
Oh boy. I didn't hear about
Yeah.
that one.
Like I said, it was about 20 years ago now. But no, the kids are saved. I can't remember exactly what happened, but just like, when you put it all together, he was keeping her tied down. She didn't have a job. She wasn't allowed out of the house. All she would was, the house slave and the baby maker. And, he was
Mm-hmm.
keeping her tied down. She was forced into constantly being with him sexually to make more babies so she had more time to occupy herself while he's out doing whatever the hell he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it goes both ways. Women, narcissistic females, will tie down men that way. Men will
Yep.
tie down women that way. It's just, oh, just so infuriating on all this stuff. Because
Yeah,
I don't, I don't want it for my kids.
yeah, and it's even harder nowadays with how they got everything is online. All the dating stuff is online. That's a narcissist playground right there.
Yeah.
Let's see what Kelly says. Problem is, yes, I'm holding on, but I'm also, because of 60 years of being manipulated, he comes back into my mind often because I spent my whole life like this. My family, my friends, my ex. Yeah, and I'll just briefly go over what we were talking about with the shame, Kelly. That it doesn't, it doesn't tell you the truth. It's always directed back towards us. It's like I'm not good enough. I this or I'm stupid. Whatever those voices are, but it doesn't mean it's telling you the truth because
Mm-mm.
um, you have to ask yourself whose voice is it, and you recognize already. It's your family, your ex, your whatever person put that in your mind. And then you have to replace that judgment with compassion. Like get whose voice is this? What it's not what's wrong with me, but taking another step towards coming yourself again. Replacing those chitter chatteries with
Yeah.
the famous chitter chatters, and just kind of reprogramming your brain because it was programmed wrong.
When
Being
growing up in
gentle
a
with
child,
ourselves. It's
yeah, when you're growing up in a childhood that is based in lies, and so the record becomes ingrained in a lie, become the child, the adult child, your inner child, and scratch that record and reset your truth.
yes.
Scratch your own
That's why you
records.
wanted to reset that. That's why you wanted to scratch those damn records. It's like wrong.
Pretty much.
You did it
They were
for a
70s
reason.
records. Yeah, they were 70s records. I wish I would have kept them now, but it's just like whatever.
Right.
you know. But yeah, it's just you have to. That's the whole thing. Being, the age that you are, and now you actually have to reparent yourself. You have to reparent your own thoughts, and it sucks. Oh, does it suck? Because part of it is correct. Part of it you've already reparented. Part of it you understand. But those ingrained little demonic little demons in your head, like, you're not good enough. Look at
Mm-hmm.
you. You're too tall. You're too small. You're too fat. You're
Yep.
too thin. You're too stupid. Stop talking.
Are you slow?
Yeah.
Why are you so slow? Why can't you get math?
Yeah. Hurry up.
Kelly says it comes down to this. I never had to think for myself, and now I'm in question of every little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they don't allow you to think for yourself. It's kind of like the Britney thing too. You know, when they took over Britney's life for so long with that conservatory thing,
Right.
now all of a sudden she has all this freedom back, and she doesn't know what the hell to do with it
Well, the thing
because
of it is,
someone else always did something.
yeah, her mom got her into, she had a
Goldilocks,
momager. And so her mom got her into Disney
momager.
and yeah, a momager. And then after momager was kicked off from like the third time that she went into a mental health facility, then dad took over. Well, guess what dad is? He's compliant. Now, grant your mom and dad are
Hmm.
divorced, but no matter what, those two still had control of her money all the damn time. So
Yep.
now that they have no control, she had no one controlling her. And so yeah, she lost her junk. Have you heard if she's out of jail yet?
You're talking about Brittany, right?
Right.
Brittany? Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't in there for very long, and then she went to like a rehab thing for about a week maybe, and but now she's talking about having a baby again. So I don't know what the hell's going on with her. Deanna says,
Well,
"Shut the fuck up, Goldilocks. She's never happy." But Goldilocks, okay, Goldilocks and the Three Bears,
oh yeah.
because all the beds and stuff like that. Like this one's too hard. This one's too soft.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate? Can you elaborate on that, Deanna?
Yeah.
Yes,
She's
I don't
never
know. I
happy.
feel bad for Brittany.
Yeah, and then now with the discovery of all these recently passed away music artists and stuff, now it's all connecting into the child rings and things,
Yes.
and it's like, man, mm-mm-mm. That's it's creepy to me.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is
exactly.
creepy.
That
Oh,
is,
yes. So that's what Sharon was saying, too big, too tall. Yeah, that her mom was never satisfied, projecting
yeah,
her insecurities and unsatisfied things with herself onto Sharon.
yeah, yeah. That's what it was, and it was just, as a child, that's the whole thing. That's what I've had to get in my head. And it's like at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 14, 18, we don't know shit. We think we know stuff. We know book
Right.
learning, but hell, even the high school that we went to doesn't exist anymore. They have a whole new way of working math math
Mm-hmm.
problems and the fucking English diagrams. I hated those things. Why?
Hmm.
Why do I have to make a divider to dissect the English words? Ugh. Um,
Right? I know.
I hated that shit. Oh my god, because I failed it every single time. And that was the whole thing in my house. If you failed tests, that was a great time because she could whoop the snot out of you for it. You're a failure, so you get to be beaten for it. You know,
Yeah.
lovely lady. Love to dig her
Horrible.
up and kill her again. And it, but yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. As a child, you have no clue, and I don't think we really understand thing until I don't know 35. That's what's being claimed now in science, that we really don't mentally completely develop until 35. And then after that is your own series of thought.
Our prefrontal lobe. I always
Whole
thought it
damn
was like
thing.
23 or something like that. Yeah,
Well,
but
that's what
I
we
don't
were
even think like
told
at
way back then.
23.
Yeah, 23, we
Right.
didn't
So
know
now they've
shit, but
upped the
we were
age.
pushed. Yeah, they've upped the age. Now you got to be 35 to be really mature, you know. But yeah,
Kelly
but yeah,
says the one thing I can Hey, I don't want to lose this. Sorry, Sharon.
No, that's okay.
Hang on. The one thing I can honestly say about the narcissist playbook was the fact one sent around and said, no matter what you do to a narcissist, they always come back. That's my fear. Yeah, they do
Hmm.
always come back. And I used to never think that they would, but they do.
Yeah, I have
And
a
it is
situation.
scary.
Yeah, I have a situation coming up. I have a young friend of mine. His dad died, and so they're going to have a celebration of life at the end of this month. Well, the young friend, his dad is the brother to a former boyfriend of mine, narcissistic. He's the one that got me searching. What the hell's narcissism? And so I'm going to end up having to see him after not seeing him for 6 years now.
Oh
You
boy.
know, I and you know
You've learned a
it
lot since then.
oh well, yeah,
You've learned so
that's,
much since then.
but he was trying to hoover and everything, but his main reason why was because he found a compliant person who was um like a cheap knockoff of me. After me, he
Hmm.
found a cheap knockoff of me, so that person's even more compliant to what than what I was, and I'm like, oh God. Um, but I'm assuming she's going to be there in support of him. And but as narcissists go, they talk a lot of shit about you because everything's your fault.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
because even when I was seeing him, he had triangulated me with someone that he was kind of seeing, and it let me know that when I thought I was the main, I was the side, which is normal narcissistic behavior. When you're the main, you're still the side. When you're the side, you're
Right.
sometimes the main. Yeah,
Right.
whatever
Right.
behooves him. But yeah, he was,
You're just a
starting.
snack.
Yeah, he was starting to hoover back and trying to gather information about what was going on and everything. And I'm like, you got a girlfriend, you got a compliant girl for you, so go play with that. But you always have a special place in my heart. I'm like, which in my head I was like, which part? Because it's dark. Is there like a tiny corner?
Uh-huh.
Is is it itty bitty,
Right.
little tiny light? Is it closer to
Right.
your ass? I don't know.
Is it like a hairline fracture, maybe?
It's more like a butt crack, yeah. But it was like they'll say and do whatever. So I'm just kind of like I'm tentative. I still plan on going so I can be supportive to my little friend there. Um, but it's just like I'm trying to rest and recharge and be ready for this crap because it is going to be stupid. It's just going to be stupid. I want to be there to support my friend because his dad died. And I know very well exactly what he's doing right now, which is, triangulating. And I don't even talk to him, but he's filling her ears just like he used to fill my ears about the other person. And I remember him telling me that his other person was older and beautiful and model-esque and blah blah blah, very thin, just something to constantly get under my skin, right? Because that was my insecurity is a weight issue because 2015 I had bariatric surgery, and so I got down to a size 6, and I still thought I was fat. I'm 5'11".
Hmm.
I couldn't get any. I mean, the doctors were screaming at me, stop losing weight. And I'm like, I'm not thin enough. I'm not thin. The negatives in my head.
Right.
And so he played upon that. And so when I finally see the lady, because he and I, same age. And at that time, we were both early 50s. She was well into her 60s. Uh, Alcoholic. So that alcoholic thin and you know, toothless, which okay, whatever. And you're just always trying to, and she was competing with me. I didn't know, I didn't understand at the time. because he is triangulate. I didn't know what triangulation was at the time, so I know exactly what he's doing right now, which is triangulating
Right.
me with his new supply. And I don't even talk to him. He's blocked. Blockety block, block, block.
Hmm.
There's so many Legos up there he can't even get through. And and I'm like, I know very well because I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, "Okay, when you go there, this chick's gonna be following you around and staring at you." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know," because her husband, the 15 close to 20 years ago, she and him had divorced, and recent, you know, about 7 years ago when he was trying to hoover her, and they were going to family reunions, he'd show up with a new supply, and then she was his ex-wife. The new supply, the new wife would follow my friend around and ask her all kinds of questions like, you know, why did he leave you? Because they looked exactly alike. Creepy what narcissists will
Wow.
do. He had met a chick that was just like his wife, had the same tattoo even. I mean, just down to the T. And I'm waiting
Wow.
because the person that I'm concerned about, the new supply that he has found, taller than me. So she's 6 foot. She's originally from Kansas also. She has German descent. She was, well, she's currently a nurse, and I was in the nursing field for a long period of time. It- you know, they'll find the same exact thing. So that I'm waiting for you, Glennis, to figure out, when your robot drives by with the new supply, she's going to look like you. I'm waiting to
You
see
think
that.
so? There's another me out there?
Well, not necessarily a you, but something that
It
meets your demographic, but is
resembles.
compliant. Yeah.
Right. We catch up on these a couple of comments here. Gosh, I
Yeah.
hope they don't come around. I want to see that. Kelly said, "Thank you." They say all that. I thank God for you guys that you've helped me so much. I'm able to talk to you, which I really don't do to anyone else. I'm so
Right.
glad you're here too, Kelly. I'm so thankful for all you guys and that we have this safe space. Yeah, it's so awesome. And then Hava says, "Blown away by how my ex has stalked and hoovered me. I never anticipated that." Yeah, they will always blow you away. I
Mhm.
mean, you never can put anything past them for real. I never thought Robot, that's what I call him, would be coming around here. I thought he'd leave me alone, because I thought he was the quiet type. He'll go away if I tell him to go away. Nope.
Mhm.
They
Oh,
don't
Hoover.
feel it, they use it. Hoover,
Yeah, they don't.
nobody does it like you. Oh, Hoover, nobody gets it now. Screw Deanna. And the Hoover commercial. Is that what they said on the Hoover commercial? Remember the old
Well,
heavy Hoover vacuums?
yeah, yeah. And that's what they are. That's probably where if I think about it, because they got flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz, and then they got Hoover from the because Hoover
The
way back in the
vacuum.
day was a great vacuum. Now we have different
Yes, they
things,
did.
you know.
Yeah, those were heavy as hell. Those Hoovers. Man.
Oh no, Kirby's. Kirby's are horrible, and I have a
Kirby's.
modern
Oh,
Kirby,
yeah. Kirby's.
an Avion Kirby, and oh my god, it's like lifting weights. I need Arnold, and it come vacuum the house, Arnold.
Arnold.
I need
Now they
Arnold.
just suck. Yeah. And now they
Yeah,
just suck.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's when you get away from a narcissistic relationship, whatever it is, and then you step back and you do your best to clean yourself up, then you get a bigger view of just how encompassed we are. It was never just you.
Hmm.
There's
No.
millions of us out there that are being tortured, basically, if not
Yeah.
brutally
And
harmed. You know.
speaking of that, I mean, remember that I ran across the Truman Show. It came on my YouTube
Yeah.
algorithm and
Yeah.
the Matrix and all of it. It's crazy how all this stuff is coming into focus, that I didn't think about. I thought about so differently before. I don't know how many of you seen that movie, the Truman Show,
Yeah,
Matrix. Like, if you've seen it now, do you see it differently than when you saw the movie the first time?
right. Because
Because it's
yeah,
everything that's going on now. It's everything
uh-huh.
that's happening. The control, the everything is the system. All of it is, and the fear. How we're so controlled by fear and those voices in our head. Because he was he was a government owned baby, like from conception
Mhm.
until he was born, and everything is controlled about what's going on. I'm like, holy shit, this is what we're
It's
living.
real. Yeah, I I think I'd sent it to you, but there was that article I ran into about Kurt Cobain, and that Courtney Love was one of those government babies, and she was sent in to handle him, and then Dave Grohl was actually in the MK Ultra program also. So yeah, it's just when you think you have a trusted friend, you don't in those
Wow.
circles. Yeah, because if you remember, Kurt Cobain tried to end it twice. He was only successful once, but
Hmm.
she was the only one in the house when he was discovered, and she was the one providing him the illicit drugs, to
That's
keep him, you know, yeah. And she's the one, I don't know if anybody remembers, but it's been a while now. But remember, they had two daughters, and those two little girls were taken away from her when, well before they had ever turned 18, but they never did list out why. So I have no idea what goes on with those girls now. But yeah, it's just a constant go around, go around, go around. And now they're even connecting like Princess Diane's death to, narcissistic demonic behavior in the royals, and I'm like, wow, it's everywhere. It is like, I can I find a nice
hmm
cave home? I would like to find a nice cave
I
home, and I'm
know,
going to roll the
right?
block. I'm
Can
just
we
going to
just
roll
like
the
go
boulders
live
out there.
on another planet or something? Deanna says, I really think he was murdered in a way he pulled the trigger on a long barrel rifle like that. I thought about that too. Like, what does he
You
have? Like,
can't.
stretch arms, strong arms?
No, you can't. Yeah. How and then not saying how I would know, but
Right. If
just
you
being
think about it, it doesn't make sense.
no
It just doesn't
to
make
fit,
sense.
to fit a double barrel shotgun in your mouth, it's not easy. It's not. You're going to rip the sides of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so all these people that have supposedly went out like that, they don't ever talk about the
Yeah. Then
corners.
right.
You know.
Then there's Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell, and because they were going to have that documentary about child trafficking and stuff like that. They were working on
Mm-hmm.
that, so that really makes you think. Brittany Murphy is another one.
Brittany Murphy, well, that's because she was seeing Ashton Kutcher, and then she ditched him, and so he called his P Diddy friend and whack that. So, according to the news clips, you know, I wouldn't be
Mhm.
surprised anymore. It's just, I remember always being we always wanted, as children, when we were ignored at home, we wanted to become actors so we could be famous, so we could have adulation of people actually liking us. That's all it ever was. And so,
Mhm.
as children, we always wanted to be the famous actor or actress, so we could actually have people that loved us, but not
And
understanding
to be
that love,
accepted
yeah, to be
came with a
loved and
price.
not understanding that love is fake too. Because yes, we can
Yeah,
appreciate an actor in a movie. Hell, we can even fall in love for 5 seconds. Jason Momoa walking by. Oh. Hello. You can touch that. Yeah, exactly. I need to be excused. I need a hot tea and private time. But
the
it's
perfect crime
just
upon someone who's depressed or does hardcore drugs. Yeah, because they're already vulnerable. So yeah, it's a perfect crime. Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Perfect scenario. Gotta run.
Yeah.
See you all next week. Thanks so much for another great live. Thanks for being here, Hava Job. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and following week, and I'll see you next Sunday, hopefully.
Yeah.
Love ya.
But yeah, it's
From the
just
Threading
constant.
Silence Gang.
Are you ready to shut down, Glennis? Is anybody
No.
else wanting to come on?
If anybody wants to come on, let me know in the chat. And then MK Ultra. I've never
Ultra.
seen that. What is that about? Ultra. What is that
It's
about?
it's it's what they do. It's they make the government babies, right? So
Mm.
somebody of power has a female slave. They get together, make the government baby, and then the baby grows up in the same bubble like we grew up in, but more controlled, more, you know, they never see the outside of the world. And then they're inundated with drugs and beatings and training. So like,
Makes me think of that boy in the bubble. Remember that one?
yeah, I
The boy
remember
in the
that one.
bubble. He wasn't
John.
he wasn't sick after all, right? He wasn't sick. I don't
No,
remember.
he
I don't
was
remember.
sick, but it was same thing. It was his parents that were being fed so much information by doctors, and then doctors. What do doctors do? Doctors gaslight a lot, too much. Why? Because they need a
Yeah.
furniture for their fourth fucking house, and so they'll gaslight you. And so the doctors were gaslighting the parents. The parents didn't have enough information because they had this strange new, autoimmune something or another going on, and the child can never be outside. And so finally, when the kid, just popped the hell out, yeah, he was fine. But everybody
Hmm.
was freaked out about it. Now that's supposed to be based on a true story. Most of Hollywood is,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's just kind of like it's like the Truman Show that I was telling you about. That was based on an experiment that took place in the early 50s somewhere here in America. In the end, the people figured it out of what was going on because they all signed up as adults to go into that little tiny dome world. And when they figured out the course of control and everything, they found the god, and they bum rushed the office and murdered his ass. Just you know did him in.
Hmm.
Supposedly, that's what all happened. But yeah, because in human nature, we're going to fight back no matter what. Is if when we get to the point where we don't fight back, it's because we've been trained as children not to fight back, to be compliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, the movies tell us all the stuff we need to know
Yep.
all the time. But MK Ultra, yeah, look it up. It'll be great big writing. But they're
Who's
even
in that?
saying
Who's in
oh,
that movie?
in Truman or MK Ultra.
No, MK Ultra.
It's not a movie. It's a government program.
Oh, it's not. Oh, government program.
Yeah. You can just look it up on
Deanna
Google. They'll tell you
says,
all about it.
I wanted to talk about a dear friend that is burning me out. Do you want to talk in the comments or come on the live, Deanna? Either way is fine.
Yeah, this I can get off of here. How about that? And then that way everybody take their opportunity. Okay?
Well,
All
wait.
right.
Maybe oh, she said I'll let Sharon finish.
Is Sharon ever finished? Sharon's
No, but you
never
talk
finished.
about some great stuff, and then you're funny on top of it, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
But yeah, when you stop and take a look around, that's what I'm kind of dealing with is that stop, take a look around, and it's like you realize how much narcissism's in this world. So how do we operate in this world without being brought back down again? Because since it is ingrained, you're going to meet somebody, whether they're a coworker, a friend. FYI, I had a friend that ran me low, and I blocked her. I just ended up, and I known her for 28 years, but she would just on me, just constantly on me, especially when I'm trying to heal. She wouldn't. She wouldn't let me breathe. It was on the phone for 6, 7, 8 hours per day. And I'm like,
Oh
do you
my.
have to go to the bathroom? But yeah, in the end, I had to block her because she was constantly saying stuff to me that, because she was around when my relationship had ended. And she would say things. She started saying, "Oh, he was so nice to me." And I'm like, "Well, good for you. I'm missing
And
it.
go be with him.
Yeah, I'm missing a tooth because of his ass, but, good for you." And she's married. I've known her since her children are single digit kids, and and her husband's sitting next to her. "Oh, he was so nice to me." And she just, and then she started in with constantly, just downpouring of all the things that she's going through. But she would constantly, I started figuring out pattern recognition, and she would, "My husband this, and my husband that, and my husband this." And so, my nature would be to listen to her innately and have empathy and everything. And I'm like, without even learning the lesson right off the bat, or hearing about it, it's like, "Well, what are you doing? Y'all been together for 32 years. What are you doing that's he's now changing? I mean, are you just, what's going on?" And then she divulged a whole bunch of stuff later, and, "Keep it a secret." And I'm all, hell no. I ain't keeping shit a secret. I know him as much as I know you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they do. They want to bring you into the circle, so it's your fault in the end. And so, yeah, I
Right.
ended up blocking her.
The
But
whole triangulation.
yeah, always triangulation.
Good.
Yeah, that's it's just like, if someone's in my circle, it's because I want them there now because I know I can trust them. I know,
Right.
but it's, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Have more discernment now.
yeah, you know, and so it's just kind of like the same respect you give to yourself, give it to the small group of people that you know that you can trust. Because yeah, sometimes people outside of that circle, because that's the whole thing. You and your family members, if you're close, and you and your friends, if you're close or growing closer, you both can have a moment of, breakdown, crash out. But it's not necessarily directed at you. But if you two can work through it and talk through it and just go, "No, I apologize. I didn't mean to blast it on you," or, you know, um, if you can have a comprehensive conversation about the possible negativities, because we all respond to negative. So, I don't even want a negative bowl of soup.
Mhm.
I will run out of that house. I'm out. I don't want it. No negativity whatsoever. I'll have it. I have enough of my own. I don't need extra. And so when you're with someone that you do want to be with and do want to talk to and do want to vent with and whatever, and you both learn to become comprehensive of each other and figure out your little niches, and, "Hey, you got time for me to vent and blow off steam? Bring it." Here we go. I got my tea ready,
Mhm.
you know, or my 40-ounce drink because I talk a lot. And you know,
Yeah, it's just it's just about what you said. Asking, do you have time? Do you have the capacity for me to vent? And I
yeah,
think we went over that the other day. I felt bad because I was venting about something, and but we both have an understanding, that it's okay. And that's all it is that you're just asking. Communication, it will come
yeah,
back and burn you. Even friends, what you tell them, then they'll turn it around into something else.
yeah. It's always
Yeah.
becomes your fault. And
Talk
then,
about a dear friend that's burning you.
like I said, when you grow up with everything is your fault because you were born and breathing, you little bastard. Why are you born and breathing? How dare you?
Right?
Yep. Okay, I'll stop breathing. You know, your brain passes out and they like you better because you're finally asleep. But it's, yeah, it's that trusting again, and it's hard. It's hard all the way around because it's just like meeting new people. You always got that, one eyed, you know, I got to put a good eye on you, and I mean, it's not just trusting that other person. Are you going to trust yourself to know that, if something occurs, that you don't agree with or whatever, is the friendship strong enough to go, I don't agree with that, but okay? Or are you going to be able to work
Yeah.
through it?
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not
I
not
you know,
everybody's
I
going to agree, and that's okay.
yeah, it's you're going to have like 19 items that you agree on and probably five more that you don't necessarily see eye to eye on. But when you were
Hmm.
in a narcissistic childhood, narcissistic relationships and everything, disagreement is the same thing as failure, abandonment, and pain. Goes directly to pain because you know you're going to get hit, so you're lined up with their low level shit again. That's when you realize how low of a hanging fruit they are, or like I had said, they're just on the fucking ground rotting, and you're standing next to them
Yeah, they don't
rotting.
even bother reaching up. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they
I was
they're a rotten
I was
apple.
adopted. I wasn't. Yes, I wasn't born from this woman, and she would turn around and tell me that the woman that gave birth to me wanted nothing to do with me all my life. Oh my gosh,
Yep.
Kelly, our stories are so similar because my
Hmm.
adoptive mother told me the same thing about my birth mother. Did yours too,
Yeah.
Sharon? Sharon too.
Well,
So we've lived that.
mine was a little bit more tricky. She would gaslight me. Like I said, I'm 5'11", so I was a tall kid. I was long baby, tall kid all my life. She was naturally auburn, and I had the German, golden blonde hair as a child. And so by the time I was 10, I was head and shoulders above her. And she would always try and gaslight. Oh, no, 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 no. You look like your grandma. And I'm like, Grandma's 5'2" and 500 pounds. And she has pitch black hair by nature and
Mhm.
brown eyes. The only thing we share is, pale skin. She's like, no, you both are fat. Just
You had to
get
throw
that
that
needle
in,
in. Got to get that needle in.
right?
And
Let's
yeah, and
dig
she
that knife
gas.
around.
Yeah. Is your heart not ticked yet? Let me try that. Anyway, so she'd always gaslight. And so I was 25 and my, elder brother came in and it's like, you're adopted. You're adopted. I seen your mother. You look just like her. And I'm like,
Witches.
what? Yeah. I'm like, what? What do you mean? What? And so I snapped my cracker because he was just on me for like hours of the day, And so I finally went running into the living room. I'm like, Mom, what the hell's going on? Am I adopted? And she got mad at the older brother. Why'd you tell her? Well, I was there. I was 8. I seen it.
Right.
Yeah, so her whole world went crashing down because her golden child busted her out. And so the one she barely likes had a truth on her. Her whole world was
Hmm.
about to shit. Like, so yeah, one, when you think about it, in those situations, as the adopted child, the unwanted child, you see narcissistic collapse since you were a child.
Hmm.
That's why you got your ass beat more because you were
Hmm.
causing a narcissistic collapse. You didn't even know what the hell that
Perhaps.
was.
Right.
You just, yeah,
Wow.
I, yeah, I didn't know it. I remember the conversation we had a long time ago, and you're like, I hope they all collapse. I'm like, it's not pretty. But I was thinking of it in the unhealed terms and the repercussions of the ones that are causing it. Because for me, when I was
Hmm.
causing collapse for my mom, Lord have mercy. I had the mommy dearest hangers. I had the wooden spoons. I had the coffee cords. I had the there was a fly swatter. you know, anything that woman could find to beat the snot out of me with to get me back into her alignment, not mine, hers.
Hmm.
And that's where I've been stuck for a long period of time is her alignment because in her alignment, men don't like smart women. And
Nope.
as a spouse, or if you want to become a spouse, you have to start doing the wifely duties early to where now the new group of young ladies are like, no, don't give him the wife treatment. He's just someone you're dating. Don't give him the wife treatment right off the bat. They don't deserve it. And I'm like, well, it's true, but I wish I would have known that. good,
Mm-hmm.
almost 30 years ago. But yeah, that, I'm glad the new generation is learning quicker than we are. And I'm glad the new society is pushing for that to decenter the, having to, your only value is to be with a man,
Yeah. Flip
which
flops.
is, oh, chancla. Yeah.
Which isn't flip flops?
No, we didn't have a chocolate or a flip flop. My mom, she was short. She was a shorty, and so I don't know if anybody remembers these, but they were the super duper heel, the platform shoe, and it was a nurse shoe, and they were called yo-yos. They had an engraved or a carved out heart in the middle of that big fat heel, and she would pull that thing off, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like a boomerang, and just clock me in the head. Jesus Christ! It explains a few things today. Anyway, but yeah, whatever the moment you break them down with your truth is when they have to fight back, and then that's when you know get hurt more.
What a
What a
psycho.
psycho.
Yes.
Yeah, I
We
tend to
had
wonder. That was part of
psychos.
my question to my therapist. Because at first, when I'm starting to put all this together, I'm like, was my mom a narcissist? No. No, narcissists can't have children, can they? They're not allowed. No one would know to be with a nurse. Oh, you can't have a baby with a narcissist. No. Because think about it, as an adoptee, you have to go through classes, you have to go through training, you have to go to psychological things to have a baby. And I was an international.
Mm-hmm.
That no, they'll let any monkey have a damn child.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably monkeys that would take better care of children.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, and it was like, okay, is she a narcissist? No, no, no. I wanted to deny it because it's just like, oh, that's so scary to think about that. I'm like, okay, is she bipolar? I've had that one for a long period of time. Probably. Was she avoidant? Definitely. Because if I didn't serve a purpose, as in cleaning the floors, cleaning up the house or whatever, she would ignore me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also, it all goes under the umbrella of narcissism.
Yeah.
You know, and
All the
so now,
patterns
yeah,
dedicated.
and then watch the movie Narcissistic Playbook. And when Sam was sitting there in the first interview where he faked the poor pity, oh, tell me how to exist.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Oh, I'll still. I got a one-time shot just for you. Um, but he said that thing, and he was like, as a narcissist, I want to take over your cells. He wants to take you over cellularly.
Yeah.
He wants to take over your
Cellularly.
cells
Cellular.
because so he can become you, which is a kind, gracious person, but you become him, which is a asshole. And it
Mm-hmm.
almost works unless you stop and heal. Because
Yep.
there's been several times where it's been touch and go to where I'm just like, all right, burn the world. I'm a jerk. We're gonna stay this way. It's safer. I'm just putting up the bars and burn it all down. And I'm like, no,
I
that's
know.
yeah, it's not me.
I remember my therapist saying that. Her saying, like, at least you didn't turn into a narcissist because that's what they want. And I found myself doing things that the narcissist do. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna two can play this game, so I'm gonna do
yeah,
it. But it felt so unaligned and so not natural
yeah. It
that I
makes
came
you.
back to myself also.
Yeah,
It's like,
it just like for me, I was just like, okay, one snotty phrase, okay, two snotty phrases, ooh, three snotty. Okay, now I'm gross. I can't do this. It's not me. I need a Kleenex and some personal time in the bath.
yeah.
I just got to take a bath and just wash all this crap off. Just because it's not my personality.
And yeah, it just feels so wrong. Like I
Yeah,
remember going on dating sites and going on dates with some guys. I'm like, okay, if you can play the field and have all this supply, well, so can I. but it's not what I wanted. I wanted to have a connection and an actual relationship that was reciprocal and respectful. And I was not going to get that.
Yeah.
And acting like him wasn't going to get it either.
Mm-mm.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I totally saw myself falling into that. Anybody else in here? Like, did you see yourself kind of falling into acting like a narcissist sometimes?
oh yeah.
Like, well, if
Because
two can
it's
play the
easy.
games,
It's easy to do. And so I think the incorporation, that's how we can step into our dark empath or their super empath, as this year's trend phrase is. Um, my mother didn't like, she would turn around and say, "You are what you
you
come
come
from."
from. And this was your adoptive mother saying this to you, right, Kelly?
Every time I
So
did
blaming
something, my
you
mother.
because you had no control over who your biological parents were. Typical
But it,
narcissistic
yeah,
mindset.
and it was just, how that's the whole thing, as a parent. I've been a parent, my child's now an adult. I would not say grossly self-righteous crap like that, because it creates a cognitive dissonance. What the hell do you mean you
Hmm.
you know you're what you come from? It, as a child,
Like
you
as a
still come
child,
from a,
what do you
yeah, as a child you come from a cabbage patch, right?
or an egg?
Or an egg, yeah, you're
Did
dropped off by a
was I
stork.
hatched?
It's another way of saying that you're unworthy and they're not worthy of receiving their love or their respect. You don't even know what that crap is as a child, much less a teenager. You might be able to spell it as a teenager, but you have no cognitive definition of what it is. You know what
Yeah.
disrespect it is, especially people in our little circle, coming from parents who didn't want us. But and it just blows my mind. Wait a minute. You went through all this testing and involvement and paperwork and sign this and sign that, paying money, paying fees to adopt a child. You went through a lot of work, 6 months at minimum, just to treat
Hmm.
the child like that. Why? Why? And then like my thinking is that my mom and dad had to sit down and have a conversation. Do you want to do this? Yes, I want to do this. Why is this going to work well out? All those questions you have when you're with a partner. You're going to have a ton of questions to make sure that this is going to be okay because you're bringing another life in. But then I wonder, did they
Hmm.
actually have those conversations? I know they paid the money. I
Right.
know they did the
Probably not.
classes. Yeah. Well, and for my thing, at the time I was still under the German law of, move them out, give them to the Americans. Give them. So just whoever's got
Hmm.
the trick or treat bag open, let's just drop that one in. And, you know, but yeah, it's just amazing that people would choose to behave that way. And so whether you're adopted or biological child, there's it's not much difference. It might feel different though, but I couldn't tell you exactly because I'm just the adopted one. But yeah, it's just kind of, why would you go through all that? And then when you become a parent, you realize, no, I wouldn't have done that. I didn't do that to my child.
Because the whole
You
power
know.
and control thing, they had to feel powerful somehow. Kelly says her mother told her entire life until the day she died. It took her 6.5 years later to realize everything that has happened in my family, why my daughter and I don't talk.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's hard to
because
realize that. Like, we have to go through all that shit and pain to realize things so later in life, you
yeah,
know?
and yeah, that's my whole. I
Kelly's,
did it as a kid, but now I'm just like scratch every fucking record possible. Scratch them all. Scratch all those records. Get rid of them because now you have to make your own. Which is why I want to go down to
and that
Ibiza.
sucks. So,
They make fresh records. They do when you're a DJ and stuff and doing all that dance mix and the wub wubs and all that stuff.
yeah.
They go down to Ibiza and then they do a little concert and stuff, and so they press out a fresh record. And I'm like, yeah, I need a fresh record press. and some tequila.
Mm-hmm.
Little salt, little
No,
lime.
all this sounds so incredibly painful,
It
and it
is.
stays with us.
Yeah. So now everything that we
Definitely leaves
knew,
a mark.
yeah, now everything that we knew, we have to scratch through and start sorting, start sorting through everything again. Was this okay? And then, you set that item aside and then you have to dig a little bit deep. Was it okay because I said it was okay? Was it okay because they said it was okay? Was it really okay? Was this even legal? It was the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Lord knows what was
Mm-hmm.
legal and illegal at that time. And it was really kind of a suggestion. So now you have to resort your basket and stuff. And it's just, I got a big
There's a
basket. I
time.
don't,
Oh yeah, Deanna's asking if there's a time I can try to come on.
oh,
Did you
yes, I'll
have?
shut up now.
Did you have
I'll
any more?
shut up.
Okay.
Okay, bye,
Thank you for
everybody.
sharing. Thank you for sharing, Sharon. I appreciate you.
FYI, I've had 2 shots in my eyeball. It is getting better. I don't see so much lace up front
Good.
anymore. So it is getting better. So, woohoo,
Yay.
you
That's
know.
good to hear. I'm so glad.
I still need a lot of tequila though. That was terrible.
Oh, I
Anyway,
bet. Hey.
okay. See you in the comments.
All right. All right, Deanna, it's open up for you. And thank you again, Sharon, for you always bring up some good subjects, and you make us laugh. So let's give Deanna some time to come on. So I gotta look up this stuff. Close encounters. Keep your big mouth going. Did we ever say that was a song? Where did that come from? The Sword of Danicles. Danicles. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I wrote stuff up. I always have homework after these lives of what to do. I hope you can find it, Deanna. It should be pinned in the community at the top. The link to come on. I hope you can find it okay. Let's see, been on here a little over 2 hours, going on 3 hours. Trying to make up for last week and the week before. That sucked. I'm not sure why it froze like that, but okay. I'm glad you made it back on, Sharon. I appreciate all your honesty and your vulnerability when you come on here and share, and for making us laugh. Because I know there's people listening that need to hear exactly what you have to say. I can't find the link. I found it earlier. So if you go to the tab, the post tab, or the community that's above it to the right, I think when you're on my page, it should be the pinned comment at the top in the community, and it's within that post. It shows the picture for today's live of shame after narcissistic abuse. So if you can find that image, it's in that. Hopefully you can find it. I'll give you a few more minutes, but I'm not going to go anywhere for a while. Like I said, I want to make up for last week. Here we go. She found it. Yes. All right. Yay. Hi,
Okay.
Deanna.
Hey, thank you.
Hey.
It
I'm
wasn't
glad you found it.
hard. Yeah, thanks. So I'll try to make this quick, but I just feel burnt out.
You don't have to be quick unless
Okay. I
you don't
just
have to.
feel,
Don't feel rushed.
okay. I just feel burnt out, but I'm realizing I don't think I'm the only one with this person because she doesn't have a car for years. She has a lot of medical issues. I've known her for a long time, but I'm starting to see she gets so disappointed in people. And I don't think she realizes, hey, like, I don't think it's malicious. I don't think she's trying to suck people dry. She's an actual friend, but I just feel like she expects so much, and I'm like, oh, this is why people feel so burnt out. And I'm feeling burnt out because I'm
Right.
more loyal than other people in her life, but it's hard, and I just want to complain, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, that's
I don't know.
perfectly okay to do so because, you only have so much to give. And I kind of relate to that a little bit because my daughter has medical issues and I'm the only one that can take care of her. And it's normal, you to get burned out, you need time for you. Are you feeling
Yeah.
guilty about that? Like if you ever tell her no, you're feeling guilty?
Yeah, I'm kind of in that territory because I feel like she wants me to come over and visit her, and I don't want to. Last time I came
Mm-hmm.
over, my blood pressure went up so crazy high. It's never gone that high. And I was trying to help her clean up stuff, but she absolutely wasn't invested in it at all. And she's just going about her day, kind of like I'm not there. And I'm just like, she had like a nurse come because at that time she had a nurse come in like 3 times a week. So I was just in the background taking stuff and bringing it out to the dumpster. Um, it's just it's so frustrating because she's a hoarder, and my kids have gone over there with me, and they call it a bunker, and they're right. And it's just, the longer you see, the longer you're around, the more you see. And I'm just like, oh, gosh. I don't want to call her a liar, but when she says she's vacuuming, I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? I cut her toenails one time and there was dog hair under it. Like, come on.
Oh,
And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying that to pick on her. It's just, please stop talking about vacuuming. Oh my gosh.
right. Like fabricating stories.
Yeah. And I said, I'm like, lady, do you really have to have? I've never heard her play piano like in many, many years. She says she does. I think it's bullshit. And I'm like, why do you have to have 200 books? 200 music books, song books. Why can't you just have like 10, 15? Just like 150 at least. And they're just like piled up underneath her stupid piano. And yeah, I'm going to call it stupid. She's so attached to shit. Like, ugh.
Yeah,
Like,
she has a hoarding issue.
yeah, and she'll say, "Oh yeah, you can eat whatever I have." Well, she doesn't have anything. She has rancid old food, and it's expensive because I have to like go out, buy stuff, spend money. Sometimes I brought stuff from home, but she's like over 2 hours away, and the price of gas, it's like, and I hate driving. To be totally honest, I get sleepy and I hate it.
Right. That
So
sounds so exhausting.
it is, and then I get there. She makes all these stupid promises. I get there, and I just want to rest.
So you feel like it's become one sided? Like it's just taking from you?
Um, I can understand because she does have legit disabilities. She's not like lying or faking about that. But it's just what the problem is that she is so out of touch with reality. She's so out of touch with reality. It's like about her situation. I just want to call her Sally someday because for years she's been saying, "Oh, someday I'm gonna do this, someday I'm gonna do that," and I just feel like trying to smarten her up. Like it's not gonna happen. It would have happened. Just stop. I mean, who waits? Who goes without a car for 15 years? And then only in the last couple of years, oh, I think I'll save it. Do you know what they cost? I didn't want to be discouraging, but I'm just like, yeah, it's just someone who just won't see reality. So it's not malicious, but it's tough.
It's draining you. So what
Yeah.
would happen What would happen, Deanna, if you ever said no to her? What do you think would happen?
Um, like what? Like what? Like if she came out and asked me, "Oh, I want you to visit," I would be honest with her. I
Yeah,
would
if
say
you
no. I would say no, and I would tell her why. I would tell her why
how do you
because
think
there.
she would respond? Have you had to tell her no before?
Um, yeah, I've had to change things because it just wasn't working for me. She can deal. Yeah, I think she can handle it, but I don't know. Her mind is an amazing thing. I think she would just like work around it, and her balloon never lands. She'd just be like, "Oh, someday you'll change your mind and come over," but no, no, no. I can't. I can't.
So is she
And
like,
oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask, is she like manipulating you or is it just draining you because of the crazy things that she's doing?
I think there is manipulation actually, but it's like low key. It's because she's desperate, you know.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's quite the combination because she's so sensitive but so stubborn. So
Right.
if you tell her to cut the crap, you don't quite know how it's gonna land. Is she just gonna laugh or is she gonna cry?
Hmm.
So I've been wanting to be honest with her for the last couple months, and I didn't talk to her for a while. And then out of nowhere, she's kind of like, "Oh, I haven't heard from you for a while," and I felt like saying the phone works on both ends.
Right. So you
But
feel
I
like
wasn't.
you're the only one like reaching out all the time?
No,
No.
no. Um, but I do feel like anytime I deal with her, she's just complaining about the same shit over and freaking over. And she's worked on herself in the past. Like she would modify her behavior. Like she didn't just complain. Okay. But she's just in a different headspace now after all these years, and she will complain to anybody that listens. I've been on the phone with her. You know when you can put a call in park, but they can still hear you. Forget what they call it.
Yeah.
And she'll put somebody else on the phone with me. I think 'cause she's a wuss and she can't advocate for herself. I don't know. She talks like her voice is like a little child. So she couldn't intimidate anybody. So, but I was on the phone with her and she was making an appointment for a procedure. I said, "Patty, do you want to get put to sleep or not?" That's what he's asking you. Because she's literally complaining about everything under the sun. I'm like, "Patty, come on, let's go." Oops, I said her name. I didn't mean to. But you know what I mean? Like, lady, I can't. Almost like I'm parenting her. She's 13 years older than me. She's like one of my sister's age. So it's like, lady, why do I need to parent you? But that's what I feel like. So
She got like dementia or anything like that? Or how's her health?
horrible. Um, she had a major procedure. Like she had sepsis. She was going to die. I talked to her almost all day. She was in pain, and I said to myself, no one except me is gonna listen to someone moaning and groaning in pain for hours. But imagine being that damn lonely. I did it. I'm just driving. I'm like, doo, 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 doo. It's crazy. And I was driving to her house so I could doggy sit because she literally was dying. She didn't know it. She's just like, it's the worst pain I had in my life, which is how a lot of people describe sepsis that live through it. But
Yeah.
she would not leave. She had two EMTs there. She's talking to me on the phone. She had two EMTs there. I'm like, Patty, go to the hospital. I will come over and watch your dog. She wouldn't leave. She was so worried about her dog. It's like, her dog's really old. It's like, to me, if the dog passed away, she could not blame herself. You're dying of sepsis, crying out loud. So yeah, she ended up being in the hospital way longer because, to make a long story short, she had to be on anesthesia. She needed 2 surgeries on her intestines. Okay, that's where the sepsis was happening because she had a blockage. It was,
Mm-hmm.
her insides were twisted up, and they were dying off. So they had to take a lot out, and she was in the ICU, and they didn't. I was keeping up with her every day. I was calling, checking, talking to nurses like 2-3 times a day, checking on her, and they didn't get her. I don't know. Coma is not the right word, but they put you under even after the surgery so you can recuperate because it's so major. So it's like all that extra anesthesia. She was stupid as shit. She talked like she was 4 years old, and it drove me crazy. When she was,
That's a lot to deal with.
talking, and I'm telling you, she was like, she went from sounding like she was 10 to 4. I'm used to her talking like a little girl, but
Mm-hmm.
um, she just she talked like she was 4, and oh my gosh, she was so stupid, but she couldn't help it. So I just put up with that
Right.
as long as I could, and she would tell me as the months went on. This was almost a whole year ago, end of September, and she was telling me that her doctor was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna get better. Your cognitive function, whatever, your brain's." I'm not totally convinced. I think there is some permanent difference now at this point in her life. Um, Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but things just kind of tell me she's. I think that's part of not being in reality, but she hasn't been in reality so long. So imagine someone not in reality and now they're stupider. Ugh, it's a bad combo. And you try to talk sense into them
Mm-hmm.
as gently as possible. I don't know. It's so touch and go. It's like, I don't know. I don't know why me.
You've known her for how long?
Oh gosh. Since the
Long
early
time.
early 90s, but I
Oh
kind of,
wow. So
yeah, I came across a couple deal breakers, and I just let her go for a number of years. And then I got back into her life several years back, like maybe 9 years ago. Um, yeah, yeah,
was it the same stuff that made you, like you said, deal breakers? Was it the same stuff that you're frustrated with now that made you kind of step back from it?
no, but it's similar things because she just doesn't think right. Her feet just don't touch the damn ground. And I'm very practical.
Right.
And um, I don't. I'm not perfect, but I'm in the adult world, and I don't know. When people come to visit, it's not just a nice visit. You're a workhorse, but you're working under shit conditions because of all the damn dog hair. There's literally no place to eat. She's very happy not having a fucking kitchen table. Even though a lady that lives in her town that comes by and takes her trash, gives her mail, has offered to get her a table. She's very happy having those dopey end tables that like fold up. And
Right.
when she takes pictures of everything. When she took a picture of her dog sitting on that damn tabletop while she's eating, I just didn't want to eat over there ever again. And
Oh, oh, hey.
I'm on the phone with her and she's going on and on. It's like, yeah, I know you love your dog, but okay. Um, and I helped her get rid of some junk. So I'm going through her things, and she had 4 sets. 4. The most she had it 2 dogs. She can't throw a damn thing away. She had 4 sets of stainless steel dog bowls, and she was feeding the dog out of these plates that she and everybody that comes over eats off of. And I said, never again. I don't know. That's like taboo.
Uh-oh.
That is a fucking taboo.
Right.
I don't care if you do it. I don't care if anybody does it. But, more than likely, I'll never go over your house and eat. You know what I mean? Just, I don't care if
Mm-hmm.
somebody does that. But just, damn well other people are eating off of that. Sorry, Dawn is not that magical. It's
Right.
always been,
Yeah, I don't think I could do that either.
it's
Because
always
they
been
lick
a
their
taboo.
butts and everything else. And
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. That's a lot of hard stuff to deal with. And it sounds like you're invested in the friendship. You've known her for a long time. And like, how do you separate the medical stuff from her just actually being difficult, And then have time for yourself. My dog just fell out of her bed.
Oh,
Hello, Mocha. Are you
oh,
okay?
oh dear.
And it's flat on the floor, but she just kind of rolled over. And you
Yeah.
good,
I mean,
Mocha?
it was so ridiculous. I think she gets so desperate, like she doesn't even. I don't want to say she doesn't think of anybody, but in some moments it seems she does not. Because I stayed at her house as long as I could freaking stand it, and I found out she wasn't getting out of the hospital anytime soon. I don't know if she was there for a month. I don't remember now. I think so. And I went home. I took her dog. I took the dog's food, the dog's wee wee pads. She's just a chihuahua. Um, she's not that hard to take care of, but she has a weird life, and she would bark at my bedroom door. And yeah, I mean, that got old kind of quick because I got other people in the house and I wanted
She
to sleep.
The dog would bark at your door.
Yeah, yeah, I think she's used to like guarding and listening and hearing new sounds and stuff. And she's a really old dog, so and then she wanted me to like pick her up from the hospital. She didn't want anybody else to do it. And this hospital is on the other side of the state, another 2 hours away. And then bring her all the way home. And then fuck my life and holy fuck.
Right. And then you,
I'm being
you
I'm being
feel
silly
guilty
right
for
now.
not doing it because she doesn't have anybody else, right? So you feel guilty if
Yeah.
you didn't do it.
Yeah. I
That's a
did
lot to
get
take on.
I I didn't. She got somebody else to do it, but unfortunately she smoked the whole time and was drinking while she was driving, and that was
Oh boy.
that was a shitty thing to do. So I felt bad about that. And she was calling me and trying to manipulate it and say, "Oh, I'll pick up the dog next weekend." And lady, you ain't running my life. I said, I'm halfway to her house. We good. We good.
Mm.
So yeah. Um I don't know.
Well,
Oh, and she was
I can tell
calling.
you care about her, but I wanted to know, like, who's taking care of Deanna while you're taking care of her? Are you still taking care of yourself? Like, how much of your time does she occupy?
Um, yeah, she's funny. I have literally had once I had a ended up staying on the phone with her for 24 hours. Like I slept like
Oh my
normal.
goodness.
Like, hey Patty, we're still on the phone. I don't know. She's just a flaky fruit flop, and she just like she'll be done talking. I'll be done talking, and I don't know. Like I feel bad because she's so lonely. So yeah, she
Right.
manipulates me. She does manipulate me to a point. My kids will be like, "You
So
still
then,
talking to
speaking of shame, I'm wondering, like, speaking because we're talking about shame today. Like, do you feel shame because you think like a good friend wouldn't think like this? Does that ever cross your mind?
do I think that like she should be
You,
ashamed or I'm ashamed because I go along
no,
with her
like, do
stupidity?
you ever feel ashamed because, like, you say you get, annoyed with her and stuff like that because the stuff
No,
that she does? Do you feel ashamed for feeling that way? No,
no.
that's good. That's good.
What? It was a tiny bit awkward because she told everybody in the hospital that I was her sister only because we had to. Because they'll only allow one person to get any
Right.
information, and her own brother was not bothering with her. None of her friends were really bothering with her. So I was it. And so she told everybody at the hospital that I was her sister. And, but she kind of kept it going. And then it like seemed like it was real in her head because she went to that 4-year-old person somehow. Like she wasn't herself. Like she regressed coming off
Right.
the anesthesia. So I felt like, wow, shit, she really did fall off the coconut tree and she really thinks I'm her sister. And I just went
Wow.
along with it. I went along with it. Kelly's got some. Did you ever ask her, has she ever seen
Sure.
her therapist? Oh, she needs one. She needs one. We have
Oh, that she
talked
doesn't
about
have
that.
one.
Yeah, we have talked about that coercion. Yeah, you know what? You know what, everybody? She she wants to live with me. If when my husband passes away or he's just not in my life and I just have my own house, she wants to live with me. That's not too suffocating, is it?
What do you think about that?
Well, she will tell you she needs 2 bedrooms. One for her bullshit and not even one for herself. She'll probably sleep on the couch. You know what I mean? So technically,
Uh-huh.
she's a hoarder,
Right.
wackadoodle. And
But do you ever see that happening?
I have imagined it, yeah, because whenever I weigh a big decision, I go through my imagination and no, it's never like you imagine, but it's my way of
Mhm.
working through something. And it's like,
Right.
oh, what about this? What about that? She would need a handicap ramp. Who's going to pay for that? And on and on. And I think she would expect me to bring her to the damn doctors all the time. And she has a shit. She got like 20 appointments a year, I think, maybe more. I don't know. It's crazy. So, hell no. No. I would be so burnt out. And she would just be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I prayed for you. And I'd be like, but I nearly died.
Kelly says, please no.
I
Kelly
love you,
says,
Kelly.
please no.
Love you, Kelly. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I can tell you, like, firsthand because my daughter has a lot of medical issues and disabilities that I am completely burned out and there's nobody else. So I know that feeling, and then I know I feel guilty for getting upset because I'm burned out, you know, and it sucks because if you feel like you're the only one, there's all that pressure put on you. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that wouldn't be a good situation if she was in your house 24/7.
No, it wouldn't. Um, and she wouldn't be able to like help, you know?
Right.
Like some people will help you out.
Don't bring in a narcissist replacement, Katie said. And
You
not
know,
necessarily a narcissist, like the label, just someone that drains you or, is
yeah,
manipulating you and she's aware of it. Do you think she's aware of the manipulation? Or is it just like, how old is she? Did you say?
she is 65,
Mm.
1961. So yeah.
And
So
this
yeah,
is what unhealed trauma does. I don't want to turn out like one of those ladies. I don't want to be difficult like that when I'm older. And I don't know.
maybe that's why she
To me,
talks
it's
like
all
a little. Sorry,
yeah, she's
maybe.
resorting back to her childhood,
Yeah, her father
talking like a
died.
4-year-old.
Her father died suddenly and tragically when she was 9 years old, and I feel like she has
Gotten
not
over it.
emotionally progressed, and that's why she talks like a baby or child.
Right. She never like worked through those feelings or dealt with it or grieved properly, probably.
Yeah, and
Maybe
she'll be
that's
like,
the reason for her hoarding.
"Oh yeah," she'll be like, "Oh, it's I'm sad because it's my husband. She was married for 5 years and he died. He had really bad diabetes, and the car accident they were in like shortened his life." So she says, "I believe
Uh-huh.
it. It was very bad. They should have died, but they didn't." Anyway, she just I'm not that much on anniversaries. Like if I had everybody in my life all lined up on my calendar that died, how freaking depressing. You know, that's her orientation and I just don't think like that, and it's like I don't judge her for thinking like that, but I judge that it makes her sad. You know, why do you want to remember? I don't remember exactly what day my dad died. It was in June, okay, you know, but he wasn't a part of my life. Well, let's say he was. This was in the 70s, for crying out loud. I told her last night, I said, you can't let anything go. I think I could tell her a bunch of crap. Not crap, but like things that bother me about this situation, this whole deal. She'd just hang her head in shame. Like she wouldn't say anything. Maybe she'll say, I know.
That's
That
frustrating.
yeah, that's because that's not a commitment to work on yourself.
It's like playing the victim kind of. Kelly says, I will tell her nicely as her friend she needs to get help. You can't help her. Yeah, exactly. You can't be her savior.
Yeah, I really don't want to come over. She tries to lure me. She's like, I got coffee. What? Is it rancid and old by now? I'm good. I'm good. Um and last night she's like, well, my dog can't eat dry food anymore. I said, did she lose more teeth? She's like, yeah. I got some dog food you can have someday when you come over. And I don't want it. I don't want it. I think she bought it a year ago. I'm good. Who buys 40, 50 pounds of dog food for their chihuahua? Who does that? She does. And she can do that. It's none of my damn business. But when I go over there and it just smells like really old dog food, I'm like, gross. I wouldn't eat it either. I don't care if I had 100 teeth. Sorry, me ranting.
No, that's
You
what you
go.
came on here for. That's what this space is for.
Well,
I may
thank
not
you,
have all the
Julie.
answers, but at least you can, vent and get it out, and whatever anybody
No,
else has in the room to say.
I,
Because I
but you
I don't have all the
listened.
answers, but we're here to listen.
Yeah, you listened and you asked a couple questions, and you know,
Yeah, and my main thing is just to take care of Deanna, because you can only do so much for her, and watch the
yeah.
guilt, examine that guilt, because if you feel guilty because she has nobody else, but you can't be everything to her. You can't do it all.
What would you make of when somebody goes quiet for a couple weeks, and you just making small talk, like, "Hey, how are you?" And they're just like, "I didn't want to bother you." What would you make of that?
Oh, she'll send that to you after a
Yeah.
while.
Oh yeah, like every time.
Well, maybe she's aware that she's annoying you sometimes. That's what I take from it. Anybody
Okay.
else got anything to add to that? Because I used to be like that. I don't want to bother anybody. But now I've learned that, I deserve space too. So maybe she's in she wants you there, but she knows that she irritates you in some way,
I'm
and
scrolling
maybe
back.
she's,
Maybe she's what?
maybe it could be a guilt thing to try to guilt you, because
Yeah.
she comes from a place of, like, not of strength, but like of, how do I word it? I guess victim like thinking. Kelly says, yes, I understand it. I was exactly the same way, but like I said before, she needs help and you can't help her. Yeah. Deanna cannot be all things to her.
I'm scrolling back and
And
looking
there's like,
what Katie said. Go ahead.
I know she said not to bring in another narcissist. Not to say that she's a narcissist, but if it's
Well,
something that's
unhealthy
draining you and
person.
you feel
Yeah.
manipulated, yeah, toxic
Yeah.
person that's going to
Yeah.
drain you, we've gone through too much crap with narcissists. We need to protect our peace. And
The
we're not getting younger.
coercion.
Life is short.
Yeah. The coercion would become so intense that she hopes you give in to her needs. Yes, I agree. I can see that. Misery
Yeah.
loves company and someone to listen to their woes without taking responsibility for herself. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then Katie says she's aware of her behavior, so she's working her guilt and shame angle. Then Kelly says, what if you feel guilty for saying no? She knows she's making you feel guilty for saying no. That's what you're not saying. No. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It is because I don't think she can handle it. But I really don't want to go over her.
But
I mean, there's nowhere to sleep. I have to take this really old linty mattress that's like plastic and so cheap and so crappy. Um, put it on the floor aside of a bird cage, like directly on the carpet floor, and that's where I sleep. And she says, I think she's lying, but she's like, "Oh, I cried when you, because I felt bad," and I'm just like, I don't know. I tell her it's okay. I don't have to hear your crazy clocks. She's like a stereotypical grandmother that never had children. She's got those stupid ass clocks and they're so loud. They don't just chime. It's a whole damn song that lasts for 2 minutes every hour.
and the cuckoo and all that.
Oh yeah.
The cuckoo.
Yeah, she would have more. She had an M&M one, but I threw that sucker away.
Yeah. Katie says no is a complete sentence and answer. No.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, just
Thank
like
you.
I think we all know, and you know, Deanna, just the boundaries. But I'm glad you came in here and you were able to vent. I hope that helped a little bit,
Yeah,
and
because
thank you for sharing that because I
I
relate
did
to a lot of what you say.
I did get lost. I did get lost in all these parameters. And when you just said that, I think no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I needed people to tell me no, to say no.
Yeah. Yeah, not to feel shame for it because you can't be everything to her.
Right.
And it feels so foreign to some of us, when we say no because that guilt and the shame comes right away, but we matter too. Deanna, you matter. If you're getting irritated and it's affecting your mental health and you're finding yourself pissed off all the time, that's not worth it.
Mm,
She'll just have to do without you for sometimes.
yeah.
If you don't want to sleep on a crappy floor with dog hair and bird poop and whatever else and clocks, you have every right to not do that. Is that's I couldn't even stand that. That's insane. I would no.
No
Just
place to
say
eat.
no.
No place to eat. If you want to take a
Right.
shower, if you want to take a shower, you got to take a bunch of hangers and some other stuff out of her shower. It's wacko. It's wacko.
Yeah. Protect your peace.
Yeah,
She'll be
Ted,
okay.
yeah, Teddy
You should
brought it
work
chicken.
towards confidence in yourself. Yes, Katie said. Sorry, Deanna, what?
Teddy brought it. My youngest brought a chicken, and she's like talking to me, and she's like 2 months old, and she was so scared. She didn't want anything to do with me, and now she's like talking to me. Hi, cutie. You looking around my room? Yeah,
Who is this? One of your chickens?
yeah. One of the baby chickens. She wasn't feeling well today.
Oh,
Yep.
can you show? Are you able to show us?
Yes, I am. Okay, let me just
That'd be awesome.
flip this around.
Aw, look at her. Look at the baby.
That's me, ugly face. Okay.
Hey, now, don't talk about yourself like that.
Chicken,
Hi, little baby.
chicken.
Chirp, 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 chirp. Hi,
She
sweet
did.
baby.
She tweeted just like you. She went tweet,
She's
tweet, tweet,
saying
tweet.
hello.
Yeah.
Tweet, 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 tweet. She doesn't feel good, you said?
Yeah, she was Teddy was taking her out of the barn today and she's like, something's wrong with this one. And I says, what? Um she's acting like her leg was hurt, but I don't know. I gave her like a vitamin boost and it did help after a couple hours. It helped a
That's
gosling that
good.
had like a heat exhaustion. So you gonna lay down and get
Aw.
pet?
I have a friend that has a pet duck. I think I've told you about him before. And he goes on TikTok and stuff. Oh, and Katie said guilt and shame turn into control. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Guilt and shame turns into control.
She said she doesn't want to live in assisted living, but it's like, how much worse do you have to get before you consider it? Like, she's that stubborn and she thinks she'll die. And it's like,
Oh, we all die eventually.
right,
We're
but
not
this
getting,
is
none of us are getting out alive.
right, but this is the guilt and coercion here. Like, she thinks she'll die and she hates where she lives. And next time she complains about her neighbor, she had her dog registered as a therapy dog so she could take her with her to her appointments. I encouraged her to do that. Um so that because her neighbor tried to get her kicked out because
Oh, wow.
she has to take transportation and she ends up being gone for hours. So if her neighbors happen to be home, they're bitching because the dog's barking. and she doesn't think
Mm-hmm.
the dog is barking, but I think her dog is fully capable of barking for hours. Yeah, I do. She'll bark till she's hoarse.
Right.
So,
But does Patty, have like hearing issues at all?
yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
So she probably drowns it out. Or maybe she's so used to it.
Yeah, she thinks it's fine.
Want to go out, Hachi? You want to go outside, Hachi? Hang on, I have to open the door for my dog real quick.
Okay. I live in a senior complex, and that is the rule. You have to be home if you have a dog. Yeah, I mean, that's fair because you, who wants to hear that? I mean, they get separation anxiety. And I was just reading Kelly's comment about dogs in living
Someone to
spaces.
take me home.
Did you ask me something? Sorry.
Yeah, I said she's home when the dog is home, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, she's home almost all the time, and uh, she takes her dog with her to appointments. And she said she's got a appointment coming up this month where she won't be able to take the dog because of the procedure. And I really felt like saying, "Don't look at me! Don't look at me!"
Right.
Hmm.
Don't volunteer me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, saying no is uncomfortable still.
So I'm seeing
In
more of
fact,
the manipulative behavior because her this lady is her ex daughter-in-law, and she gets her trash in her mail, and she's offered to take her dog, but Patty would say, "Oh, my dog would die." So yeah, I think that's the manipulation.
yeah, she wants you to do it.
I mean, this lady lives like 5 minutes across town, but she prefers me.
Right. She's more available.
Yeah.
Kelly says, why don't you just tell her that you have a friend and your other friend needs you right now to get her off your back? But you can think, I think she's writing some more.
Yeah,
Did you go, Hachi?
it'll only let you type so much. Like 2-3
Oh,
sentences,
okay.
you get like
Cut off.
yeah, that's like some kind of setting with chat, I think. I've never been able to um type a whole lot in a live chat, so I think that's like a standard setting that YouTube puts on, I think.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
give substance space and move yourself back from the situation. I can tell by hearing you, you're not in a good place with her. Yeah, you sound very drained.
Thank you, Kelly. Do you know what helped me though? Taking a break from her because I was feeling burnt out, so I decided to take a break. I said, "Hey, she isn't reaching out to me lately. I'm just going to take a break and I'm not going to reach out to her." And then you
Right.
start seeing things, you know, like the
Uh huh.
hindsight 2020 kind of thing. I start seeing things
Right.
for what they are. And I'm like, well, it's not my place to call her out on things that I think she's doing wrong. But she does drive me crazy. She
Mm-hmm.
does drive me crazy. And it's just from a desire to want, because I'm a truth seeker and I just want her to see the truth. But it's probably a waste of effort because she'd rather just be in her ball of shit. Like She calls her apartment a shithole, and it's like, this place ain't bad. You make it that way with your
Mm-hmm.
hoarding. With your hoarding, like, what the hell do you need a hot dog cooker for, lady?
Well, you don't have to be pulled into that shit. What did you call it?
She calls it a shithole. She
Shithole,
makes it that way. Yeah.
shitty diaper or whatever. Because like when you set the boundaries, it doesn't make you a selfish person because you can still care about her, but got to care about yourself too. Like
I mean, if you're on
I would not
disability,
want
how
to.
fussy are you gonna be? The places are
Yeah.
renting out for $3,600. So, shithole. I don't think so. I don't. I don't know. Yeah, she took on this whole
But
princess thing after she got out of the hospital.
she
Princess
was used to
Charlie.
being waited on.
Um, I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
So what do you think changed that? Why'd she start acting like princess? She
I
wanted
think
princess
because
treatment.
yeah, I think she just had too many things happen. Like, she was having stuff happen twice a year. Like, first she fell and broke a couple ribs. Tried to tough it out for a weekend. I'm like, girl, get your ass to the hospital. Don't worry about your dog. Yeah, the police called her first thing on Monday, but she still has her dog and she still has a place to live. Goodness. So there's that. And then several months later, she fell on the floor. It's concrete. It's not like there's no basement or anything. So built on a concrete slab. She fell in her kitchen and she broke her, instead of breaking her arm, she broke the socket and the shoulder blade. So that took a long time to heal. And then she had this with the sepsis. So I don't know how much, I don't even know where I was going with this, but I just don't know how, the,
About the
the princess.
princess treatment.
Yeah, okay. Um, I guess because she never came across that way to me before, but I guess having all this stuff happen and like, she was constantly complaining about how the hospital were, and it's everywhere now. All the hospitals are, subpar with nurses
Mm-hmm.
having any skills, and
It's horrible.
it actually is. So, um, so I did have a discussion with her last night, and I says, "What's going to happen when you die? Because you could have died last year." I said, "You don't have a will." She's like, "I know. I worry about it every day." I said, "The worry is useless. Start researching, writing a will. Stop waiting for your brother to talk to you, because he hasn't talked to you in over a year." So I told her that. I was just straight with her about that. And because I said, your brother's older than you, 7 years older than her. I said, he is not going to want to clean up your hoard after you go. He's going to hire somebody and they're going to throw everything away, including your husband's ashes. I
Mm-hmm.
said, you better write something up. It's a fact. It does happen.
Right. Yep. Uh, she's a caregiver. I care for everybody. I only have two people that I care for right now, a 96-year-old woman that has more life than I do, and an 83-year-old male.
Oh,
The 83-year-old man will have to deal with his own issue because I can't deal with them. It's something like what you're going through and I can't do it, you can only help someone so much.
Yeah, they
Are you
need
ever afraid of
somebody.
you ever afraid of disappointing her?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
Now maybe that's the underlying thing here, and
The word
that guilt comes
the
in.
word the word of the day that popped in my head just now is enmeshment. Enmeshment.
Enmeshment.
Yeah. It's a dynamic of I don't know if you want to call it a codependent relationship. Relationship. Yeah.
Relationship.
Yeah. Yep. I know. It's like you're there to get them bathed and make sure they eat and they're dressed and take their medicine, but you can't fix their problems. I think that's what Kelly's getting at.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm clenching my jaw and I'm all tensed up. I don't got anything to worry about. It's her problem. I do my best. I listen, but it's gotten tired because she complains about the same shit over and over.
I feel like a healthy friendship wouldn't require you to sacrifice yourself the way this is affecting you.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And the counselor I mentioned earlier, he says friendship should be easy. They should be easy.
Yeah, it should add to your life, not take from it. And it's stressing you out. Like right now, you noticed the tense in your neck and
Yeah,
all that.
clenching my jaw. Yep.
I mean, you could care, but still have limits, especially because it's affecting you like this.
When I told her why I didn't want to bother with her years ago, she really had nothing to say.
Yeah, so she doesn't lean into that, and like, there's no curiosity about
Correct.
why.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's upsetting because your feelings should matter. Like for us, if someone's upset with us, we would ask questions, right? Like, did I do something wrong, or can we talk about it? I mean, that's what a healthy relationship you do. You try to work things out.
Yeah. To me, it was
So
like
when
she'd
that's not
do it again.
done, it's
That's what she was gonna do.
repeat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it better to just not have friends?
I
you know, it,
That's what I
it
think sometimes. I mean, but
like we've talked a lot
it's
about
just
not bothering with the romantic relationships, but I kind of wonder about
it's just
friendships too because you can get in the same damn
yeah,
dynamic.
exactly. And it's hard to find people that are reciprocal, and it's a two-way relationship, not a one-way relationship, and they lean in and they care and they can deal with the boundaries. But it's doable because I found, like, Katie and I, that's my best friend. I mean, we've been through some bumps together, but it's all about communication and listening and reciprocity, respect, all of it, you know, and not manipulating like you're being manipulated by this woman.
Yeah.
Katie says that your friend will remain as she is. It's up to you to change your enmeshment. Are you still trying to get someone difficult to love to appreciate you? Oh, that's a good question.
I really
Are you
don't
still
know.
trying to get someone difficult to love to appreciate you?
I really don't know. I'd have to think about that. It might be so deep, like I don't see that. But does the word enmeshment work for you, Katie? Does that sound like that? It kind of just what popped into my head. Like all woven and tangled, and it's just a mess. Like you feel like you're stuck. You feel like you're stuck. These are good questions and
Um,
thoughts.
oh, here I am. I got the phone almost dying. I'll probably have to leave in a few minutes because I got my phone
Okay.
dying, the light dying, everything's dying. Not right now. I mean, like in 10 minutes or so. I'm not trying to kick you off. I
No,
don't want to die on us because I know the
no.
phone's died before when I live, and that's a horrible feeling.
Uh, all right. Um,
Like when I got kicked off the live last week, and I felt so bad. But
yeah.
so do you feel responsible for your friend's emotions, Deanna?
Maybe I do because I'm trying to go around it and be mindful of her sensitivity. And I felt like telling her, like, I never realized she was so sensitive because she never seemed like it. But maybe she's just pulling that shit with me because it works on
Right.
me. In her mind, you're her only caregiver. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not my fault she doesn't have sisters.
Yeah, and then you do you feel like maybe you're carrying her problems as your own too because she only has you? Because that's a lot for one person.
Yeah, when you spend hours a couple times a week on the phone with somebody and you get to hear all their shit and she has you in on
Hmm.
conversations and acts like the child. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm her emotional support. I hope I'm a
Yeah, that's
really
not cool. I mean, I know you're laughing, but I know that's got to be hard on you
I
because
hope I'm a really awesome. I'm like a zebra unicorn. With Pegasus wings. Yeah, no, I'm good. Speaking of animals, I want to tell her to stop. I've been watching hoarding videos, home cleaning videos. And oh my gosh, that brought out so much stuff. Trauma dumping with a lot of projection.
hmm
Ooh.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah, she
yeah.
needs to go to get a therapist, but she's stubborn though, you said, right?
Yeah. I won't go unless they're the best. Gotta have the best doctors. Well, la di da. I had to look around
I think
until I
this
found a
friendship is
therapist.
asking way this friendship's asking way too much of you, Deanna.
Agreed. Yes. Yes. It's called burnout.
Hmm. Pretty soon everything will be because of you. Yeah.
Oh, you mean like they turn it on you like you're the best and then the next week you're like this is your fault kind of thing?
I think that's what she means.
Everything. Oh well, I don't give a shit.
Yes. Oh, come on, Mocha. Come on. Oh.
I feel quite detached. Okay, she says yes. Yes. Well, thank y'all.
Sorry, I don't have all the answers, girlfriend. All I know
No,
is
you don't.
boundaries,
No,
boundaries, boundaries.
this is awesome. Thank you
And to take,
very much.
yes, and to take care of Deanna because you matter.
Yeah.
And you're
You
welcome. Thank you for sharing it and coming
and
on
you
here and for showing us your sweet little baby.
yeah. And you know to keep saying that. And I'm kind of not meaning to ignore you. And I'm like, yeah, she said that. Yeah, pay attention. Yeah, work on that. Take care of yourself. You are right.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
we can't pour from an empty cup. It's like the plane analogy where the plane is crashing and you got to put the oxygen on Deanna. Yeah, Katie said the same thing. You can't pour from an empty cup. And you can't
Yeah.
manage everybody's else emotions, because
Yeah. I
she's
think
not managing your emotions. Is she? Is she helping you? Is she worried about your emotions and what you're going through? Doesn't sound like it.
she does have that capacity. Yes. Um, but I do feel like it is diminished at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. It was the hardest lesson for me to learn too. Like you, because you know the story about my older daughter, right? And
Yeah.
how she just wanted to move on, and want to talk about things, not have the hard conversations. And I felt myself like wanting to go back and reach out and try to make that happen. But I'm like, wait a minute, I did my part. Now it's her turn. I am
Yeah. I
not the
don't.
only one in this relationship that it's got to be a two-way thing.
Yeah. I'm thinking Patty can't have difficult conversations about herself, about her situation. I think she doesn't want to see it.
And that's hard to be with people like that when you can have those conversations and you want to have those conversations. It's extremely hard. And that puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a
You're
no bueno.
yeah. Yep. No bueno and no braino. Like, don't even give it another thought. It's simple. It's just, it's too hard, you know? You
Yeah,
can't
and this is
do,
where it's the always choose yourself. Always choose yourself, and it's not a like selfish thing like in a narcissist way. It's just that it's do or die. I mean, it's either
yeah,
them or you.
I gotta put the oxygen mask on myself.
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah, and we got to work
plane.
towards the guilty feelings because, like I was talking about earlier in the live about the shame, like we're so programmed for all the shame, like the shame that you might not even know that's there because you were tensed up earlier. You know,
Yeah.
it's okay to think about yourself.
Yeah. There is a
Hugs, my
place to
friend.
guilt there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, my cup is shattered. Yeah, it's like one of those cheap paper Dixie cups got stepped on. That
Yeah.
one's no good. That one won't hold nothing.
Or they get all soggy and then they won't hold the water anymore.
Yeah, aren't they great? Or how about those pointy ones? You can't put them down. Pointy bottoms.
Right? Like the snow cone cup things, the
Yeah,
snow cone holders.
I've seen those for a water bubbler. Uh, the snow
Yeah.
cone instead of, yep. They don't want you to
Instead of
leave it
like a
around.
regular cup. Right. Throw it in the trash. That's how you don't hoard. So you don't hoard water cups.
Oh yeah, she's told me so many times how mad she is at people for throwing her stuff away, and it's I thought about it, and it's like, yeah, if you have 50 pieces of crap surrounding one good thing, nobody's gonna know the difference psychologically. Just like, okay, let's toss. So yeah,
You know what? That hoarding thing, it's probably like because she lost her dad, she's afraid of losing things.
yeah. I mean, I have that tendency too, but I've had it broken down so many times by my family that I wouldn't guilt trip people because it brings out narcissistic behavior in people. If you've ever watched the program Hoarders, some of those women
Uh-huh.
are assholes to their family,
Yeah.
to their friends, and they have a fit over one stupid thing that's covered with mouse turds and cockroach poop. And it's like, what? No, no, you throw that away. and you don't ruin
Yeah, they
everybody's
have a
day.
lot of different fears. They have a lot of different fears, like fears of scarcity. Like,
Yeah, it's a mental
that's why they
illness.
hold on. Yeah, fear of making the wrong decision, like emotional pain, fear of loss. I already said that because about her dad and everything. It's like a safety and predictability thing. But you know what? Like I kind of use stuff for it, not like bad. Just I always heard the rule of if you don't use it in a year, get rid of it. And so once I did that, it's such a freeing feeling. And I'm trying to remember episodes from hoarders if they ever have like a sense of being like all the weight lifted off of their shoulders from getting rid of all that shit. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
they do. They
It's been
do,
so
but
long
then
since I've seen that. Yeah,
they do, but then they shit it up inside of a month. It's awful because they have to.
right. It just
They,
all comes back again.
they need regular therapy. It's
Yeah,
intense. Yeah,
for all the underlying reasons for doing it in the first place. The healing that must be done to move forward in a confident and safe manner. Yeah, that's true, Katie. Yeah, there's always reasons behind everybody's behavior. It's just hard to understand sometimes, and it can be freaking annoying. Because then we're dealing with our own stuff too. So having to deal with somebody else's stuff
that's where I'm
takes
at.
a lot out of you. Yeah, it
That's where
takes a
I'm
lot
at.
out of you having to deal with your stuff and their stuff, and especially when they're not healing and you're healing, like you said, because she doesn't see stuff.
Yes, she's very negative.
Yeah. Yeah, and it wears on you more than you think.
Yeah,
Because,
it
like, my daughter has all these. I hate to see her suffer and in pain all the time. She's in pain and suffering all the time. And I don't even look at my phone after a while. And it's not because I don't love her, it's just because I cannot handle seeing one more negative thing or hearing how she's in pain. And so I get it.
is
It's
it
not easy
because
to deal with. And
is it because she doesn't have a good relationship with you that she's in pain, or other things?
no, it's all her medical issues and like everything she's going
Oh, oh,
through, the
physical
chronic
things. Okay,
illnesses. Yeah,
okay.
it just nothing that's her fault. It's just stuff that's happening to her like medically, and just always something's wrong. If it's not this thing, it's that thing, and it's not her being manipulative. It's just what's happening with her body, and it's hard for me to constantly hear that because it wears on you, like constant negativity, and especially when there's nothing you can do about it. Like there's only so much I can help her with. Katie said that's the point of stepping back and observing everybody's choice of consistent behaviors and moving forward from there.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Patterns, consistent patterns, and what it's doing to you.
I was just going to say it's very hard for you to be removed from her issues because she's your daughter. It's not like a patient, even if you like them a lot and they've told you a lot of things and you're kind of like, friendly, but you can still have distance, to keep yourself okay. But because it's your daughter, yeah, that's how are you not going to have an emotional investment because you're not like your adoptive mother, cold and
Hmm. Yeah.
I guess I'm not
Yeah.
either
It's hard.
because
It's,
go ahead.
I said, yeah, it's hard to step away and make boundaries with my daughter, but sometimes it comes down to, there's nothing I can do for you right now. Just try to get comfortable the best you can. I'm here if you need me, but I need to get off the phone. or I need to stop looking at my text. I just have to set little small boundaries like that because I can't leave her. I can't walk away and say, fuck this. I ain't dealing with this person, like you said. But so it's all about, just finding finding little boundaries, and then I have guilt because I'll have complete crash outs in front of her. I'm like, I'm just at my wit's end. I can't fucking take this no more. But I just have to find the smallest moments of boundaries and not feel guilty about it. So it's hard. It sucks, but it just all comes back to, putting that mask on. I have to remember I got to put the mask on myself or I'm going to wind up in the fucking hospital. And then what? We're both screwed. So
Right.
yeah, just finding those little moments that you can to. So I started doing my Tai Chi more because I was talking about, making promises to yourself and keeping them. I kind of
Yeah.
flaked on myself a few times because I'm so like looking at my list that's 100 miles long of what I got to do. And then I forget about myself. So now I'm getting more of in a routine of Tai Chi and taking care of me. Because if I don't, and I'm quitting vaping, like I'm cut way, way down
Yeah.
because if my lungs are hurting, if I don't take care of me, then what's going to happen? So,
Have you ever heard the stories of this instructor who would do tai chi in like a public park every day, and she didn't bother with anybody unless they came for a year? Then she was like, then I knew you were serious about doing this.
oh, I've never
Commitment.
heard of her. Do you know her name?
Oh, it's generic. It's like an old story. Like that's how they think,
Oh,
because you're doing it for
yeah,
yourself. Because
right,
that's how Buddhism is. Save yourself.
right.
That's a basic tenet of Buddhism. I don't know very much about that religion at all, but that's how they think. You're taking care of yourself. This is a commitment to you, and they take you
Mm-hmm.
seriously when they see you're showing up every day.
Right. Yeah, I don't know a lot about that religion. All I know, because I don't like religion at all, but all I do know is that they're not pushy. They're very peaceful, and I'm kind of drawn to that. I think that's why I picked Tai Chi. It just gives me a feeling of peace. So that I love hearing that. Thank you for sharing that because that makes
Yeah,
sense. Not giving somebody else access until they've shown that they're serious. That's pretty cool. I like that.
yep.
Wow.
I thought everybody
Yeah, and
knew
the
that.
little Buddha. I didn't. Yeah, and that little Buddha dude with his belly. I always thought he was cute,
Yep.
but I don't know if I could be like how they live in the monasteries and stuff. But now when I think about it, like my life is kind of like that because my circle is extremely small, and I don't. It's kind of a gift though because you find more healing in solitude when you're alone with yourself and you really get to know yourself. And a lot of
Mhm.
people are scared of that. Most people are scared of being alone because that had some kind of stigma. And I thought that was one of the rewirings in my brain. I don't know if any of you guys went through that, but because we're always lied to and when we were little and taught that we have to get a relationship, we have to get married, we have to have babies. And it's such bullshit. Like we're not like if the message I got growing up was you're not somebody unless you're with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Relatable. Very
So I kind of
relatable.
feel like I live in a monastery, but I'm okay with it because it's peaceful.
That's good.
Because you come back to yourself, and that's what I think the whole idea that they're giving is,
Yeah.
with the monks and stuff. You take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
come first because everything is within you.
not everybody can do that, but when you can find your peace at home or just in your own space, if you're taking a break or something, that's, how else are you supposed to thrive?
Right.
Get a, oh, yeah, I should do the
Yeah. Do what?
stretching. I have an
Yeah.
uncle. He's in his 90s now, but when he was in his 70s, he says, I get up and I stretch every day because I don't want to be stiff. Arthritis takes over. Can't do anything. Just sit in the chair. He didn't want to be like that. Like he'd go to a
Right.
club and just dance.
I've seen that too, and it's so cute. These old men at clubs, they got
Yeah,
all these young girls around them and stuff. And
yeah.
I've seen this. I saw this grandma the other day. She was like, how old was she? Like seven or 70s, maybe. And she was doing these obstacle courses. And then my daughter, she's really interested in skateboarding. And we've looked up like skateboarders that are like 75 years old and they're learning how to skateboard. Just because it's all in your mind, age is all in your mind kind of thing. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't remember if the lady was 96 or 97. She's in a walker otherwise, but she's standing on top of one of those, those small biplanes that do like the stunts.
Oh,
She's on
wow.
top of the
Really?
she's on top of the friggin' thing. She's like, I don't know, I just get bored. I'm like, what?
Oh, wow.
She's
That
like,
is so cool.
she's got
I
something to
get
lean
bored.
into. Yeah, she's got something to lean into, and she just stands up there, and the plane is doing a loop de loop, and it's like she's
Wow.
just
How
just
old is
somebody
she?
96, 97.
96. I'm going to look that up and see if I can find it somewhere. The lady
She's
on the
British.
plane.
Yeah, it was BBC. She's
British.
British. Yeah. So she's got the
That's
world
awesome.
record. She got the world record. Um, she beat her own record. She was doing this. I think she was doing this in either the 20s or the 30s. So she's cray cray. She loves this stuff.
Wow. That's cool. She likes the adrenaline. See, Katie says, an ingrained thought my value to others was unwanted, but as I'm healing, I'm learning that number one, that I'm number one. Yes. Yes, you are. We're all number one.
Yeah.
And like I said before, like we get to be with ourselves the rest of our lives. So we have to have our backs first and foremost. Because if no one else is going to do it for us, we got to.
That's right.
That's what that's the thought I always have to return to. No one's going to have my back. I got to stand next to myself. I got to have my back the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, she was good to me. She'd listen to me. She was a good friend, and that's why I feel bad because it's not like I totally have to dump her, but I need a break and I need my distance.
Right.
And when I get back into it, I would have to call my parameters, set my boundaries,
Hmm.
because, yeah, yeah, because I don't want to get burnt out again.
Yeah. And right. We have to remind ourselves we're not God. I'm not God, girlfriend. I'm
Yeah,
Deanna.
that's right. Thank you, Glennis.
You're welcome, Deanna. I'm glad you came on here. It was a conversation.
That was what?
That was a good conversation.
Oh,
Thank you for sharing all of it.
okay. Yeah, I guess I wasn't.
Because someone out there is listening.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't too boring with my damn complaining.
Not complaining. You're not complaining.
Yeah.
Something's bothering you. That's what this channel's for, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, Kelly and Katie.
And that's what I have to remind myself too. Like, we all have problems. Life is not like all hunky dory and sunshine and rainbows. We got to have someone to talk to about it.
Yeah, I really felt like I had nobody because I told my adult kids a little bit, but they're not really into my problems. when you when
Yeah,
you're
they usually aren't, huh?
when you're in your 20s, you're living for yourself, and no judgment,
Right.
no judgment. It's fine. So realistically, yeah, I didn't really expect them to support me in this, but it's really, really nice, and I appreciate it so much. I really do. And
You're
Kelly and
welcome. That means.
Katie also gave me stuff to think about.
Mhm.
Not too hard. I'm not
Yes.
hurt
Well,
myself figuring it out, but um,
that's the
yeah,
great thing about this community. And we can all support each other, so we don't have to feel alone. And everybody
yeah,
has different perspectives, which is cool because they come up with things I don't think about. And you might come up with things somebody else doesn't think about.
yep.
Just always remember your oxygen mask.
Yes. I just talk.
We can have compassion for
I,
someone's struggle, but we don't have to like have responsibility for managing it.
yeah, it's like I forget to breathe.
Yeah. We need you to breathe. We need you to breathe.
I
We
catch
need you
myself
here.
doing it. Yes. We need you to breathe. Take care of myself.
Yes. What's for dinner? I have
Oh,
to
good
think
question.
about what's for dinner.
Good question. I didn't plan anything.
Take all your vitamins, Katie said. You didn't plan anything?
I love you. You're funny. That's funny. Yes, take your
Katie's very
oxygen.
big on vitamins.
Take. Oh, okay. I do keep a few supplements around. Yeah. Um. Yep. I'll take my vitamin O for oxygen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and stretching and lots of water. I don't know if you like baths.
Oh, I
Baths.
got magnesium flakes.
Oh,
You should do that.
yes.
It really helps.
Light some candles.
Yeah. Well, this is a good idea. Even though it's summer and it's warm, I don't have to take a hot bath. Just
Right. Let's take a cool one.
you know what
Mediocre.
you know what's dorky? This is how I take care of myself. I have a bathtub that we spent $800 on because my husband was supposed to build a bathroom and he never did. So
Uh huh.
I said, "Motherfucker, I'm still going to use this tub. I have it. It's my redneck swimming pool."
My redneck swimming pool.
Yeah.
Katie's
It's
having ribs, red beans, and rice and steam. Ooh, we're going to Katie's house for dinner.
oh,
I
that's
love that.
nice.
Your redneck swimming pool.
Oh, that's good eating.
Food.
That's good
Yeah.
eating. Yeah.
Your redneck swimming pool.
Yeah. I just got it in a private part of my yard and
Fluid. What's fluid? Oh, food? Are you meaning food, but you're spelling it funny? Fluid?
well, that's a good dinner you got there.
I know. Let's go to your house. We're going to Katie's house for dinner.
Mm. I'll thaw out some ribs.
Magnesium.
Yes. Yes. I, I get off now. Bye.
All right, Deanna, you have a good rest of your night. Enjoy your what'd you call it? A hick tub, a redneck
Yeah.
tub.
Yeah. Yep. I'm
Have a
gonna
good
use it.
tub and dinner. And
I got a tub and I'm gonna use it, damn it.
yes, show us a picture of it. Is it like a jacuzzi tub? If you
Yeah,
want to, you don't have to.
yeah. Actually it is a jacuzzi tub, but I'm nowhere near it, so
Oh, okay. Well, maybe
but
later.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to end this too because the dogs are staring at me. They want to eat. I got to get up. My butt hurts. My neck. But thank you guys. I think everybody's left except you and Katie. But
Yep.
if anybody's in here that I can't see, like Kelly, thank you guys all for coming on here. Remember, always choose yourself. Put on your oxygen mask, and I love you all. I'll see you next Sunday.
Yep.
All right, you guys.